Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob.
I'm Mel.
And we're here to play Try Not to Burn Your Eyeballs Out, looking at the graphic design and art of the game and the color choice. That's what we're trying to do. I couldn't find my sunglasses, but we're going to try to get through this without our eyes bleeding. Just kidding. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see how many people tune away after they see the background I chose for this shot. Let's see. I'm sure we're going to lose like at least half the viewers based on, or they're going to start adjusting their brightness of their screens, or like on their phones trying to like, where's my brightness setting? This is burning my eyes. But yeah, hello everybody. Hello everybody joining live. Hello to you watching later. We are checking out Dungeon Degenerates Hand of Doom by Goblinko or Goblinko. I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. I don't know who the publisher is, but
well, the publisher pronounces it Goblinko.
Goblinko? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I've seen in their paid like playthroughs and videos they've done online, like they call it Goblinko. So I don't know. I don't know. But hello everybody. Hello. Yeah, give it a minute. Well, I'll go into a kind of a history with this game and a rant and full disclosure and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Before you do that, though, Ninja Art does say, hi, everyone. I need this virtual hangout.
Come on in and hang out. We're going to have some fun here.
I'm glad we're here for you.
You're going to get, as with every playthrough, every game we check out on the channel, you're going to get my full honesty here, of course. Just because I'm playing a game on the channel doesn't mean it's a great game or a game I love or a game I want to play. Just so you guys know, FYI, please understand that. Not every game is for everyone, okay? Some of you have already tuned away based on the art on the front of the box, which I am totally guilty of doing on one of their many attempts on Kickstarter to sell this game to me. But yeah, we're going to get into it. Full disclosure here. I need Doc to answer some questions in the chat, I guess. I should have asked them before the stream. Full disclosure, I looked at this game on Kickstarter a couple times when it popped up on Kickstarter. I passed, because you know me, I can be superficial. You have to find some way to not back 43,000 games a month. You got to start cutting the fat somehow. And this one, I just looked at it, my eyes started to bleed, and I tuned away. The art is fine. It reminds me of being a kid in the 80s, which we'll get into shortly, and that's the goal I think they're going for. But I was not interested in this game. I would not put my own money on this game, FYI. This was gifted to us from our producer, Doc Hogan, who's in the chat right now.
Hi, Doc.
Hey, Doc. Thank you again for sending it to us with a bunch of extra stuff, which some of that stuff we'll have in the game today. Some of that stuff will show off later in the stream. Thank you for sending it to us, Doc. But please keep in mind, this was not one I researched. This is not one I was trying to get a hold of. This is not one I would have normally put in my collection. But we'll get into like later in the video, like, that's not always a bad thing. Like that can sometimes lead to finding, you know, gems in the rough and that kind of stuff. But I'm curious, Doc, do you work for them? Are you friends with them? Or are you just like a passionate fan? I'm not sure. Because looking around lately, trying to look up rules and watch other playthroughs to make sure I'm doing this game right. I see you commenting everywhere, really trying to promote this game, and the fact you paid to send it to us is kind of crazy. So I'm just curious, what is your relation to this game? Just for the full disclosure so people understand. I just want to know if like you're kind of like secret marketing for this company, or you work for them, or you're just buddies with them.
Or you just love it.
Yeah, or you're just a passionate fan. I'm just curious. You're in the chat, and I'm sure you're going to answer questions people have, because you're obviously a great promoter of this publisher and this game and stuff. So I'm just curious. I just want to know. The other thing, the company obviously didn't send this to us. We're not being paid to make this. The only money we put in on this is because it was shipped to us from the US. We ended up paying like 50 or 60 in customs fees and stuff. So it's not completely free. And either way, like even though it was a gift, you guys know I'm going to be honest no matter what. Whether a publisher sends us a game, whether I buy a game, whether, you know, I found a game secondhand in the classified ads, whatever, you know what I mean? In those things called newspapers or whatever they used to be, you know, any of that stuff. I'm going to be fully honest, so you guys will know. For those who care to hear my thoughts, which, again, use your own judgment and your own choosing of games, as always. Like, you know, don't take what I say as, like, gospel. This game could be your favorite game. This could be the art you're looking for in a game, the game design you're looking for, the type of game you're looking for. And today I'm going to show you in a playthrough. Mel and I are going to play it together and show you. We'll give more of our thoughts at the end. But yeah. Doc says it was a cold send. Yeah, he sent it to me. Okay, also, yes, because I knew you'd never get it. No, zero affiliation with Goblinko or the Aisbergs. I think that's the husband and wife that are in the videos, right, about it? Yeah. That's the publisher. So, cool to know. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. Dog loved this game and was telling me, I'm going to send you this game. I think you would love it based on like what you and Mel play. I know it's something you might not like. He was a little worried we were going to just take it and throw it in the garbage, which almost happened a couple times, but it didn't. I'm just kidding. So Dog sent it to us. And the history on this game, we got it like many months ago, sometime like spring of last year, I believe, or early summer or something. And I've tried to pull this game out and learn it and present it. Well, decide first if I was going to play it on the channel. I pulled it out, I don't know, May or June last year, started punching the tokens, reading the rule book, learning it. And man, just to going through the rules and the other games we were playing at the time, and I just couldn't get through it. I just wasn't passionate about it. Something about the game, the rules, the systems in the game. I was just like, man, there's so much to remember. I was constantly looking up things. I would like read the whole rule book and then start playing and like would have to look up 80,000 other things that would come up. It was very like a rough play, which reminds me of my experience with like Sword and Sorcery or Hexplore It. When you first get into these big sandboxy, crazy, complex, big rule book kind of games, it's like that kind of thing. So I just went, I'll worry about it later. The other problem, I'm like trying to learn it, and I know Mel would probably like to play a game like this with me. She likes playing games like this with me. But then I show Mel this game, and Mel, you look at it, and you're just like, I'd rather play something else with you. I'm not going to force her to play a game she doesn't want. And she was turned off by it, by looking at it. So
I'll give my thoughts on that at the end.
Yeah. So two things were going against it. The rules, like even with the reference sheets and everything, it takes a bit to get into this game. It's its own unique kind of world. It reminds me a lot of Hexplore It. Mm-hmm. That same kind of sandboxy, throw a game together, has that like, original kind of Kickstarter feel, like the reason why campaigns should exist on Kickstarter, small indie, people trying to raise funds from the fans to make a cool game. Yeah,
not a huge company. Yeah.
This gives me like the Hexplore It story kind of vibes. Like Hexplore It was the same thing. Small team, made a game, felt a little prototypey, even the final game, but it was still a cool game. And eventually, like, they get better, they make a better version and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. The real reason Kickstarter is there, right, is to like, fund small ideas or big ideas from small companies or people or places. You guys know what I'm trying to say. This is that kind of game. It reminds me of Hexplore It, but also in the gameplay, like you're adventuring around. This is an adventure game, not a dungeon crawler, even though it has dungeon in the name. It's an adventure game, sandboxy kind of game. It has a campaign though, which I would have given it points over Hexplore It, but Hexplore It recently added a campaign mode. But they're very similar, like gameplay wise. If you take away the art of both the games, very different. It's roughly kind of the same idea, except for Hexplore It has the modular map, which can add more replayability and stuff. But same idea. You're wandering around, you're trying to survive, you're drawing random encounters from cards, rolling dice, trying to roll less than your attributes to succeed. Feels like I get the vibe of Hexplore It from playing this game. So
I do as well.
Anyone who's played Hexplore It or knows the channel from Hexplore It, those kind of adventure games, it feels like that, or a little bit like Runebound, that kind of style.
Which makes sense why Doc would think we would like this, right? Yeah. Because it's similar to many other games we play.
Yeah, Euthia adventuring around the map, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But more Hexplore It with the whole like drawing cards based on where you are and that kind of thing. It's neat.
Yeah.
So about the campaign. So what I read online too when I was looking at this game, like why have they printed this game, had like 4 or 5 different Kickstarters making different, reprinting of the game. Every time it gets like 800-ish, 1,000 backers. It's like, what is it about this game I needed to know that like people care? And it's like, it might be the art to make it different, but supposedly the campaign and the story is where it's at. I'm not going to go into that today. We're going to play a standalone mission, only the first mission, but it gives you a taste of the writing, the story, the branching paths, how it can have replayability playing through the campaign and making different choices and stuff. So we'll show a bit of that off here. But for the campaign play, I think I'm going to put this back on the shelf after today and kind of save it for later, maybe put it on some polls. So those people right here can vote later. And when Mel and I are looking for another campaign game to play, which we're not right now. Right now, we're in the middle of a few campaigns, Lord of the Rings LCG, Aeon's End. We're going to get into Imperial Assault, Star Wars Imperial Assault soon with Kyle. So we're going to have like 3 or 4 campaigns going on every week. I didn't want to add another one in the mix, but I want to get a video out of this game because I kind of felt bad it's taking so long. But Doc's not the only one to send me a game that was kind of like tough to get it to the channel. There was a point where I pulled this game out around Halloween last year, thinking this would be a fun game to play around Halloween with the, you know, bright colors and kind of goofy theme and stuff. But again, I pulled it out, started reading it, went, no thanks. I'm staring at all these Arkham games that are just better quality and just more my speed and more my type of game. And I just decided to play those instead. So here at Rob's Gaming Table, I kind of play what I want on the table, whether someone pays for it or sends it to me or a publisher sends it. Sometimes I play games and I just put them back on the shelf or give them away. And I'm like, I'm not putting this on the table. This is not my type of game or not for me, or I don't want to help promote it for, like, you know, if I don't even want to play it, why would I want to show it off, you know? But this kind of game, I did have fun playing it so far. I like what it's trying to do. I like that it's trying to be different. I like the art style, trying to stand out on a store shelf, stand out on a table at a gaming convention, you know, be interesting, a different kind of weird game in your collection. So it's neat that it's trying to do something different, but it's not for everybody. So just keep that in mind. And I kind of say don't judge a book by the cover on this one, because that's kind of my experience with it. Many times I had trouble getting into it. You know, it doesn't look appealing to me. The quality of it's not the greatest. It is a small indie Kickstarter, you know, those kind. I've gotten them before where I get this Kickstarter sent to me and I find out the Kickstarter only had like 300 backers, and I understand why the, you know, the dice, the component quality is kind of like prototype. But if you, as Doc reminded me, like when he sent it to me, he's like, please be gentle. It is a husband and wife team, it is a, you know, not $1 million Kickstarter or anything like that. So keep in mind, it's like their first game.
It's like a passion project.
They're, you know, trying to get in the industry and stuff like that. This game is like 4 years old though, and they've reprinted it a few times, but it's supposedly still the same. So I don't know. They self-publish it, I think. So just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna be a little more gentle on it here. I'm gonna try, but like keep in mind, just because I'm playing it, please understand that, like, you know, this might not compare to some of the quality of the other games we buy from larger publishers that have, you know, marketing teams and graphic design departments and, you know, miniature sculpting departments at the publisher and stuff like that. This is just, you know, a designer and a husband and wife, you know, an artist, whatever, just working on a game, like a 3 or 4 person team or something. Where is the rule book? Do you have it? Mm-hmm. I don't know if it has the credits there. I guess we can look on BGG. But yeah, 3. I know they used to have a designer working for them that was like answering questions on BGG, but then I don't think he works for them anymore. But anyways, yeah. But yeah.
Oh, here's your credits.
So art and illustrations by Sean. I don't know how to say the last name. Game design and graphic design. The game's designed not by the husband and wife. The artist is separate from the game designer. The game designer is Eric Ratty, who I don't think works for them anymore, from what I could find. But he's who you'll find answering questions like from 3 years ago on BGG.
And then Katie, the wife.
So the art reminded me of like growing up in the 80s, and even the designer talks about Garbage Pail Kids and Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse or Pee Wee's Playhouse, whatever it's called. I used to love that show as a kid, collected the toys and everything. I love weird stuff like that from the 80s. But it reminded me of a skateboard I owned, and the art on it is like that style. So this guy is obviously grew up in the 80s, influenced by the wackiness of the 80s, those weird things. And anyone who doesn't know what Garbage Pail Kids are, they were like an anti kind of thing from Topps. That's a company that produced cards back in the day, to kind of go against the hype of the Cabbage Patch Kids, which was like a toy craze back in the day. The Tickle Me Elmo of the 80s. My sister had to have them. My mom was punching people in the face at you know, the local store, trying to get them at Christmas time, all that kind of stuff. But these are kind of like a joke of those dolls, kind of like gross, stupid, you know, like immature humor. That's what this game's kind of going for. So this is Garbage Pail Kids. Like, obviously it's weird. Like somebody made like a Tiger King kind of Garbage Pail thing. But yeah, this is Garbage Pail Kids. So you can see, like, this is the pack that Garbage Pail Kids used to come in back in the day. You see that yellow, the pinks, the weird, you know, black, you know, I don't know. This is like obviously heavily inspired the artist, this kind of weird stuff. As soon as I read that that's what he's inspired by, I knew it. all of a sudden I went back to the 80s and was like, I get what I'm playing. I know where this guy's coming from. Also in the 80s, and add in a few drugs and stuff too, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure this, you know, they're not, they didn't have, you know, they weren't totally sober as they're designing and creating the art for this game, I'm sure. I'm just kidding, but probably not. Anyways, so Dungeon Degenerates, Hand of Doom is from 2017. So yeah, it's like 5-ish years old now. The dark and dirty co-op game of swords, sausages, and sorcery. So I know BitJam was in the chat saying there's kind of some adult humor and themes and stuff in here. So just warning anyone who's got their kids sitting there. I didn't see anything there's like, you know, that's like straight up.
I didn't either.
Except for like one card, there's like a sex dwarf who's wearing like, you know, kind of like a, yeah. Anyways, there's like some sausage references and, you know, weird kind of things in the game, but.
Oh, apparently the game is full of drug references as well.
Oh, yeah, there was one I saw. Yes. I do have, there's a loot card in there that's like, yeah, I forget what it's called. Something about, yeah, drugs. But I haven't seen everything in the game. I didn't go through all the decks. I just played it a couple times. Yeah, there's so many cards. I'm not even going to go through them all. But yeah, there's just some weird things. Like some of them are wearing like, you know, like you can even see on the cover of the box, they're wearing like tight leather and, you know, spikes on their, you know, covering their, you know, all those kind of things. Anyways.
That's just your warning if you.
Well, my favorite thing I've seen so far in the game is an item called mystery meat. That was my favorite. I used to love after going to the bar and the club, you know, wandering out in the street, you know, having trouble walking, and then you find the mystery meat cart. My favorite. Love eating mystery meat, you know, after a night of drinking. Good times. Oh yeah, mushrooms. Yeah. But yeah, it's like just silly. I don't know, it's silly stuff. But anyways, there's 1 to 4 players, 30 to 360 minutes. The weight is a 3.56. So this is not a, even though it looks like kind of like, you know, a kid's coloring book. It's not for children. And it's also not simple. This is not an entry weight, you know, this is a hardcore RPG slash, kind of like an RPG fans board game. Again, sandbox adventure game with the, you know, gameplay decisions, challenges, and all that stuff of a 3.56 weighted game. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Today it was funny that he even made a comment to me because I had all the books out, the references, my notebook, and he said, "Looks like you're studying."
Yes. Street meat. That's what it is. That's what I call it. Yeah, street meat.
Street meat, yeah.
It's basically the mystery meat. You'll see if we see the card. I'll look it up later. But, anyways, so yeah, this is Dungeon Degenerates. So on Kickstarter, I was looking this up trying to figure out how old this game was. So yeah, it's from 2017. But they had like 1,000 backers on the original printing of the game, which seems to be exactly the same with the version I have. They did a 4th printing last year they had on Kickstarter. I'm sure they'll have copies showing up on their store soon or something, because I think that's delivering to people based on the last update I looked at. They did an expansion called Mean Streets, which we're not incorporating in the game today. I saw it. I have it. I have not opened it yet, though. And there's some art projects they did. But obviously all the stuff, so this guy's the artist of the game, and I guess the publisher. But yeah, there's the 4th printing. So they've tried to print this game on through Kickstarter a bunch of times. So keep an eye out. I'm sure they'll have another Kickstarter doing printings for it soon or something. I don't know. But again, it's just a small little, this is like what Kickstarter was created for, to bring these projects, you know, people that don't have, you know, huge companies backing them and stuff. And, you know, it's that kind of thing. So keep that in mind as we're playing through it. I'm going to make fun of the quality of the game all day, every day. But again, it's like there are small, you know, Kickstarters, and you know, it's what it is. It's what it is. All right, here's the game. Holy crap, vomit. Just joking. But yeah, it's definitely very bright, very colorful. To some, you will turn away and be like, this game's not for me. And I totally understand that. Mel had to like force her. She's actually playing today against her own will. Just so you know, I had to force her to like, Mel, take these dice and roll them. I swear it'll be fun. I swear there's a fun game hidden in here. And that's why there's a passionate fan base, because the writing, the theme, the mechanics, it's fun. And this is why Doc sent it to us, because he knows I like these type of games. I would like the gameplay. And a lot of times I can get through the theme if it has some cool gameplay to it. And this has that. And I chuckled every time I play this game. I draw a card and I read it, and I just laugh. There's all these laughs. I'm just having fun. So keep that in mind. That's how we're going to approach it today. This is not a learn to play video. I don't know the rules inside and out. Perfect. I keep looking stuff up. We'll look stuff up today. It's just like Sword and Sorcery Explore it. You stop. You won't know what that monster does or what that card does. You'll have to look it up. There is lots of rulebook referencing, which you'll see all through today, which reminds me, this is the type of game, and I'm not crazy, it's not just me, because I have proof here. If I go to the files section, and I've linked this down below in the video description, this was kind of a red flag to me also. When I was learning it, I was struggling, trying to remember everything, and I was very frustrated. Why do I keep looking stuff up in the rules? Why is it not sticking? I don't know. Then I look on here, and there's people making their own rule books, their own reference sheets, their own reference cards to stop them wearing out the rule book. No joke. I'm not joking. So this game, you have to keep looking up rules. You know, I'm assuming after you play it like, you know, 5 times or so, you'll start to have to look up less things because references help. But go on here if you're trying to figure out this game and you're struggling, you're constantly looking up the rulebook, your rulebook's falling apart. Go on here and print out some of these reference guides. There's like full rewritten rules. There's map supplements, reference cards, everything. I printed a whole bunch to try to help me get this game to the channel and like, you know, make a video for you guys. So I'm not crazy because there's tons of people on here looking for them, downloading them, printing them, creating them. So help yourself. If you own this game and you haven't got it to the table yet, go on here and there's official errata, there's rules references. Go find this stuff, print this stuff. It will help you, I promise. Read through the regular rules. The rules are there, they're fine. But again, it's gonna be boring. Like it's gonna drive you nuts. You keep stopping to like flip through the quite lengthy rule book over and over and over and over again. Because the game is not streamlined by any means. There's some weird stuff here. It's just kind of like it's like that sandbox game nature where they just throw everything in and kind of just added rules and exceptions just because they wanted to, rather than trying to like streamline and refine it. So even though there's like a 4th printing of it, you're still playing the same like game from 5 years ago that they just kind of put together. So just keep that in mind. And all this stuff still applies no matter which printing you have. All this stuff is still good. Okay.
Even with all those reference sheets, I still made my own notes of a page.
Jesus.
Just for myself.
So yeah, so there's this guy made a page. He didn't want to wear out his rule book. Here's commonly referenced rules. I printed this out, laminated it. Here's rules on here, the monster stuff. There's these cards that I printed out so I could follow the flow of the game, because even the reference sheets they include don't really cover everything.
These are the references that are included in
these
game.
ones are the official reference sheets, which they're fine, but look how much information, and this doesn't cover everything, that people are going online and printing off more reference sheets. So these reference sheets leave a lot to be desired. They try to help you not look up stuff in the rulebook, but they're not very well done. So I just find the fan-made ones are like way better, which is weird. You think... And obviously the playtesting, you know, again, small game, what do you expect, right?
Yeah, the playtester list is very small.
Like obviously once it gets out to the public, people play it and then they understand like, I'm always looking up this, and these decisions in the game design are weird. If I put those all in a sheet in order, it's a better reference sheet because I'll understand it. But when you're the game publisher and you've constantly played your favorite game over and over again, you know the rules because you made them, you maybe aren't the best person to design a reference sheet because, again, what you remember and what most people who are blindly playing your game will remember is completely different.
What I do appreciate about this game, though, is they do put monster abilities on the back.
Boom.
So both of these or both of these rule books are...
So there's reference stuff. So literally more than half your table will be covered with just reference material spread out. Like, no joke.
And then if you want, and if you're like me, you can have like your little notes on the side as well.
Oh, man. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Any questions before we get into it? Let's see what the chat's saying. Sorry, guys. I've been kind of ignoring the chat's kind of flying there, but I just want to get that spiel out before I like squirrel and totally forgot what I was going to say. I think I covered everything. We'll give more of our thoughts at the end of it.
Yeah.
You will understand as we play it. I'm not going to go too much overview of the game. It's an adventure game. We're going to move around a map, try to follow a story. You guys are going to help us pick which kind of objective we're going for. There's options right in the first scenario. There are many options you can choose and how you can treat this first scenario, and all lead to different directions in the campaign. We're playing it just standalone mode, but you can play it right from the beginning in campaign mode. And I have the missions right here. But you'll get an idea of how the game plays as we play through it. It's pretty straightforward, just a lot of exceptions, which we'll be looking up rules and stuff. But here's the campaign mode, and there is 21 pages worth of scenarios that you can play, story, all this stuff. And every time you play it, based on your choices, your decisions, what happened to you in a scenario will lead to different endings and lead you to different scenarios. So in theory, and I haven't done it, anyone in the chat who's played more than the first scenario can probably tell you more. But I feel like if you play this through once, you're not going to see everything, which adds to replayability. You'll want to play through it again and maybe choose different paths or make different decisions. Not to mention picking the different characters and stuff. But yeah, another thing too I want to say about the game, holding this book and stuff. Again, if you understand that this is a passion project from an artist and a publisher who was heavily inspired by 80s weird heavy metal, skateboard, punk, you know, Nintendo game, D&D, Garbage Pail Kids, you know, Pee-wee's Playhouse kind of weirdo kind of art and stuff like that, and design, that's where I kind of go, all right, I can put myself in the shoes of understanding the quality choices also. Not just get mad that like, oh, they obviously cheaped out on the rule book. They cheaped out on the little 12 millimeter standard D6s where the paint chips off after you use them once. You know, the super thin cards that like bend when they're just sitting there. I bring myself back. This reminds me, like, holding this book gives me the vibes of holding a comic book back in the 80s or a magazine. It's that cheap, like, paper, flimsy, you know. The cards literally feel like, you know, Ninja Turtle, baseball cards, Garbage Pail Kid cards, cards that you pull out of a pack in the 80s with the, you know, the hard stick of gum you should never put in your mouth.
People do, though.
I know, I did too.
I just like the smell of the gum.
I love it. But yeah, you chew it for 2 seconds and the flavor's gone. It feels like this game was produced in the 80s. Like, no joke.
Yep.
This feels like the dice are the type of dice I haven't seen since I was a kid playing with cheap games in the 80s. Like, I don't know how they found a factory that printed stuff from the 80s, but they did. And that's my justification, what they're trying to do here. So they weren't trying to, like, you know, spend your Kickstarter dollars, you know, to save some money. It feels like they made a game that's a blast from the past. And I bet the majority of the hardcore fans of this are people who were born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, who love this kind of art and theme and played games like this back in the day, maybe some D&D fans, stuff like that. That's what I think they were going for. So you're fine with this. You don't need high quality components. The game does a fine enough job. Doesn't need to be full of miniatures, and I'm okay with that. I think it's great. But yeah, this reminded me, when I hold the book, I feel like this is a comic book. I feel like I'm holding a comic book when I was a kid from the 80s. Like, it just gives me that vibe. I don't know. That's just what I get. Anyways, the dice suck. Like, they're the first thing I would upgrade. First thing I would upgrade.
Well, it's the first thing that I said when I sat down to play.
Like, my hands, like, I'm 6'4", and my hands, like, I can't do it. These dice, these tiny dice, like, rolling them every time, I can't. It's annoying. It's very annoying.
I think, though, we're just spoiled now.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
That a lot of games come with bigger dice, and I sat down and went, oh, okay, yeah. These are what we're playing with.
I'm
That's
like,
fine.
I'm sorry, Mel, we're playing with it as it arrives.
Which is fine. I just, yeah. I'm just spoiled. That's all. No, you only have one set.
What?
You only have one set of those big dice, no?
What's the problem?
Oh.
My dice are bigger than yours.
Fine.
I'm
play
sorry.
With baby dice.
Sorry, Mel. I need them for so I don't injure my hand when I'm rolling dice. For safety reasons, I need to upgrade the dice. I'm sorry.
No, we're just spoiled now. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's fine.
But it was fine. Yeah, they work for what they're intended to do.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But upgrade your dice, please. Please.
Unless you are fine with it. Some people are fine with it.
I don't know why there's not custom dice in this game that have sausages and swords and stuff on them and weird mushrooms. Like, I don't know why they didn't do that, but whatever.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Alper says, one campaign takes 5 to 6 hours and usually consists of 3 to 6 scenarios. Thank you, because I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's good to know.
I don't want to spoil anything either, so I haven't read ahead. So we might play this later this year as a campaign. We'll put it on polls. Our Patreons and our YouTube members can vote on it and that kind of thing. So it may be something we pull out later this year and play it as a campaign when it fits into our kind of schedule.
However, though, if a campaign is only about 3 to 6
That's
or
fine.
5 to 6 hours. It might just be a one day anyways, right?
Well, no. When Alper plays by himself in his room with no distractions.
Yeah. That's true.
But when you're playing on stream and you're talking with your chat, you're taking breaks, you're looking up rules, you're trying to make it, you're presenting the game.
And we would be letting you guys make a lot of choices too, so you'd probably have to double that time, yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be like a whole weekend, like 2 days or something.
Maybe I could get a set of Mel from Role Player. Whoa, no, Daniel. No. Whoa. Now you're saying I need to go and find another box and get dice out?
No, it's fine. I don't mind those.
I'm just joking. We can do that if you want.
No, I'm fine.
Matthew.
Super chat. Thank you so much.
This looks crazy cool. I feel like I'm on an acid trip. Again, I tell you, when they were creating this game, they were on drugs for sure. Like,
no, let's not say that. No. This is just the style that they were into, which is unique. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Daniel says it gives me old school Avalon Hill vibes. That's what I'm saying. Like the 70s, 80s. They're like a company that makes those little like cardboard, like army kind of games. Games are from the 80s. They were making games and stuff. I don't really play any of those games, but I see my conventions and stuff, and I see the market they're going for, and it's people love those games. They have a hardcore fan base. They're so cool. All right. Logator,
I was just looking at the same comments.
Logator Gaming says, "Whoa, the colors! Starting to think there was something in my coffee."
Logator, there's nothing in your coffee. It's fine.
Alper says the colors are much better on your table. I think the camera doesn't capture it as neon as it really is.
I agree.
This is true.
Because when I look,
and that's on purpose. I want people to want to watch the video, Alper. I don't want people to be turning it off because their eyeballs hurt. Okay. You might get a tan from watching this game for too long, so I've adjusted my camera to kind of
dull it down a little.
Yeah, dull it down a little bit, lower the exposure a bit, so the saturation isn't like blowing out the camera. Okay, so yeah, for your own safety.
Oh, BitJam plays the dice. Nice.
Bob says, "Yeah, you kids today are spoiled. You should have tried playing games in the '80s. This crap was all there was." I did.
But that's the thing, though. That's what they're going for, I think, when they made this, to make it remind you of a game you played in the 80s.
Again, I've talked about it before. I played a lot of the crappy stuff you could find at department stores in the 80s, like the Monopolies, the Pop-O-Matic games.
Yeah, these are the type of dice that were probably in those.
All those crappy things. They're like the cheap little component games. The cards are so crap. Yeah. That's the vibe I get from this game, is like literally feels like I'm gone back to the 80s.
Yeah.
And if that's what they're going for, man, they nailed it. Mm-hmm. They nailed it. So yeah, we'll play through the campaign again in the future, assuming people want to watch it on the channel. We'll see how this video does, how the interest is in the game. But looking at the Kickstarter numbers and the views on other videos and stuff, yeah, we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. But if you want to see more of this, hit that like button down below. Helps it promote this video on YouTube. Share this video to others if they're interested. Yeah. But now we're going to play it. You're going to see our honest playthrough of it, how the game works. It's going to, decide if it's for you or not. Or if you just want to watch more of it, let us know in the comments if you're watching this later. Like, what's your experience with this game? Why did you back it? Why didn't you? Why do you own it? Would you want to watch more of it? Why, anything. I would love to hear it. If you're watching this later, drop it. Mm-hmm. I know the chat will let me know. They've already been letting us know. But
Matt does say this board is burnt into my retinas. I see it when I close my eyes. It's awesome.
All right.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go into the mission.
Okay.
So this is what is the first scenario they recommend playing to learn the game. Because I assume we don't see some of the things that you'd see if you continued on. Like maybe we won't see epic monsters. At least I haven't really yet. Epic loot. There's void gates. There's all this stuff in the rules. Like tons more than you're going to see today. This game, I'm telling you, 3.56 complexity, it gets pretty crazy, I assume, based on reading through the rules. So in the campaign book, we're going to set up on the run, okay? There's some story we're going to read. There's some setup stuff. So I'll go through that now and set the stage.
Yeah, I have to stop reading the chat because it's funny.
Yeah, I know. As you rot in your filthy prison cell beneath the fortress city of Brutalberg, a shady jailer comes to you smelling of cheap gin and rancid oil, offering an illicit deal. He has found something valuable that he needs to keep hidden from his cruel and fanatical commander, the High Magistrate. Unable to leave his post, the jailer offers you your freedom if you will retrieve and deliver a package to his crooked cousin in Pigskin Port. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Will you accept the generous offer or refuse him and plot an escape on your own terms? So right away, like I give him applaud for this. If you're playing this in campaign mode and you're not playing this standalone, we're just playing the scenario standalone. But right off the bat, if you start doing this game in campaign, you may choose to refuse the jailer's offer. If you do, skip this mission and continue on to loot and pillage. So you go on to a completely different scenario right from the bat, right off the bat. But we're not going to do that. We're going to play this one. Obviously, we set it up. We're good to go. But just let you know, it's kind of cool. When I read that, I was like, oh, most games don't do that. They're like, you know, maybe they have an optional tutorial, but this one's like straight up like, you can play this, which branches out, or you can skip this one and right away and not play it. If you accept the offer, the jailer springs you out of the Undercity dungeon and sends you on your way with perhaps enough gear to survive the journey, which is your starting items and gold pieces. So setup, we set the bounty level, which is this little blue token here. It's got the little bounty symbol, these nooses, which match these little law tokens here. So the bounty level is set to 3. So we're escaping from a prison. The law is kind of like, you know, Big Brother kind of watching over us. There's lawmen that are going to be hunting us down in certain areas of the map. And, you know, we're the degenerates from the dungeon. We're trying to escape the law and help out this jailer. So we set the bounty level. So the higher the bounty level means the more you're going to run into the law if you're at locations where they can find you. And we place the party at Brutalberg, which I don't know if I have. Oh, I do. I was like, I don't know if I have the zoom in shot kind of set up, but we can move it around. So this is Brutalberg. I'm probably not saying that right. All this kind of like, you gotta say it like in German accents, or German style. But this is this castle. This is where the bounty level is. This is like the headquarters of the law. And we're in the dungeon. So we start here. And we're going to adventure on the map and try to achieve this thing. So we also have to set up a mission deck. And every scenario is set up different. Every scenario kind of has its own rules. So there's this mission deck of 2 cards. We have the Soothsayer's Head. This is what the guy wants us to capture. We'll read about it in a sec. And here's the Fungal Parasite, which we'll explain. I just want to show that these are put in their own little mission deck. And there's a certain place where we'll go and try to find that head. And maybe, or we can ignore it and just run off and try to escape and say, screw this guy.
There is some talks about polls. There will be polls.
Oh, we're going to do polls. You guys are going to decide how we play this one, for sure. And if we ever play this as a campaign in the future, oh, you better be here. We're going to be playing along. You guys are going to help us do silly things, make choices, decide where we go, how we play through it. So even if you played through it before and you want to see some different stuff or whatever, see how we handle things, yeah, we definitely would do that in the future, for sure. But we will do some of that today. Because like I'm saying, right in the first scenario, like they're giving you a taste of the game, how the system works, which is neat. So the Soothsayer's Head, which is in there, it says, this is the head of a mummified mystic, is the jailer's prize object, which you must deliver to Pigskin Port. Okay. So Pigskin Port right up here. We are here. If you wish to honor your part of the deal, imbued with some trace of his magic beyond death, the Soothsayer's cold lips whisper sage warnings mixed with utter nonsense in ancient languages. And then that other card in there, the Fungal Parasite, the dangers of handling a moldy old severed head, ... So you risk carrying this dead, crazy, mystical head. You risk yourself getting a Fungal Parasite. All right. So there's clue tokens on the board. So sometimes when you play, I'm assuming these are face down and you can search the clues in the mission and whatever. In this tutorial mission, they're just face up. So it's to remind us, here's our options. So we already know clue number 1 is Pigskin Port, where the jailer's cousin's hiding, and we need to grab the Fungal Parasite. So Pigskin Port.
No, we don't want the Fungal Parasite.
I mean, sorry, the Soothsayer's Head.
Yeah.
So sorry, let's start here with the crossroads. This number 6 is the crossroads here, just south of Brutalberg. This says, this is where the jailer buried the Soothsayer's Head to hide it from the witch smellers of the Inquisition. Okay. Pigskin Port. This is if you bring the Soothsayer's Head to the jailer's cousin, you might get a reward. Then again, it could be a trap. In any case, Pigskin Port is a good place to look for work. Okay.
Okay.
Then there's Gutterfish Ford over here. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we're in.
Well, we got it. Gutterfish Ford. Here, let me move this. Let's see if I can. There we go. A little more centered. All right. So Gunnerfish Ford right here says in the book, setting the scene here, you could leave the soothsayer's head in the ground, which is at number 6. Just forget about it. Say, screw that head. You could leave it in the ground and get as far away from Brutalberg as possible, outside the reach of the Imperial law. This rundown, backwater, stilt village could be the perfect place to hide out, and perhaps the soothsayer's head will be of some use to the village elders there. So we could bring the soothsayer's head there, or we could say just screw it and leave. So those are some of the options it's kind of hinting that we can do. We'll do a poll in a second. There's also Stone Circle, clue number 3 down here, which says, surely the warlocks of the circle would offer a decent price for the soothsayer's head. If not, at least you'll be safe from the law out there in the middle of the swamp. And then it had us put this token on Northbridge here, which normally Northbridge, it looks like we could just take this road here and travel into the Highlands, okay? But it actually tells us it's destroyed or whatever, and we're not allowed to go that way. So it's kind of blocking us off, which makes sense for a tutorial mission to not overwhelm the player, lock them out of some of the map, which is
well,
cool.
that would be an easy way just to get there, right?
Yeah, correct, so true. It does push you.
It's making it more challenging.
Yeah, so Pick Pigs Import is like the main way we should go to follow the jailer, but like it would be like a 10-minute playthrough if that was the case too, right?
Yeah.
So the map is divided into 4 quadrants here. I forget what 4 regions or whatever. So we got the Highlands, which draws from a different encounter deck, and you see different monsters from that area, which is, I love that. I love it. You have the Badlands up here, which obviously draws from a different encounter deck and a different monster deck. The blue area of the map is the Lowlands, where you draw, separate encounter, separate monster. And then down here in the green is the Wetlands, okay? So if you're traveling in these areas, you're going to see completely different type of monsters, completely different type of encounters that are thematic to the area. So even though the board is static, it's not the usual adventure games we play, Lord of the Rings, Journeys of Middle-earth, Mage Knight, Euthia. It's more of on Explore It, where they have modular maps that kind of, even the map can change. Even when you're playing the exact same scenario, you explore the map and it reveals itself randomly or how you want. This is more kind of like Runebound, where you have like that set static map. You're always going to play on the map, but things are going to change on it. Mm-hmm. So on this map, danger levels are going to go up. Towns are going to be less friendly to you. Regions are going to get locked off from you. The law is going to be looking for you in different places. And there is a whack ton of tokens you see down here in the bottom. These trays don't come with the game. There's a link for them down below if you guys are interested. But the tons of tokens to modify the map. So even though it has a static map, it's constantly evolving and changing as you play through the campaign. And there are maybe it's in a rule book. There are sheets to track how the world is constantly evolving and changing. This is the kind of game I would just leave on a table and play through the campaign without cleaning it up. Because you have to mark down everything, like the levels, what's happening, where the epic monsters are, and all that kind of stuff, your skills and items, to save it for the campaign. So it's ever evolving, ever changing, even though you're in the same world. So stuff you do in one scenario impacts the next scenario, which I love. So you can wander around one area trying to drop the threat and finding things there, and then later in the game that might help you or hurt you, that kind of stuff, I believe. That's the impression I get from the rules and what I've read so far, which is neat. So also, each path here, we put these law tokens on the board, these hot pink, sexy law tokens right here, these nooses. So this is expanding. So the law basically hangs out down here based on the symbols I see on locations. But what this is showing you is that the law is also wandering around in Witchwood looking for us as we escaped. So normally those wouldn't be there, I think, and we might be able to get through here easier. But what it's doing is saying that, like, if you want to go this way, the law is out to get you. And the law has its own deck of monsters or enemies that are going to be hunting you. And the cool part is, again, them just throwing rules in to throw rules in to be thematic and fun. You can actually bribe the law and try to get away from them by not fighting them, by like paying them money and stuff.
I mean, that's thematic. No?
But yeah, exactly. But you can't do that to regular monsters, which is super neat.
Yeah.
Super neat. I love that kind of stuff. But again, when it happens, I won't remember how it all works because you got to roll certain dice and it's a certain cost. So you got to look up at how that works because it doesn't always come up, right? So it's those kind of weird things that are super fun. But it's like, man, it's like so much in this game.
How do you do that again?
Yeah, you just got to remember or look it up or look where it is or, again, print off some reference sheets. Mm-hmm. So again, we might miss rules today. We might miss triggers. If you guys remember in the chat, point them out. Do the little @Rob's Gaming Table in the thing, and we'll see it. I'll highlight your message or whatever. If you notice we've totally messed up a rule or something. But again, today we're just trying to give you an idea of the overview of the game, how the game works, give you a feel for it. Try to show you don't judge a book by its cover, and you'll find a cool game underneath there, even though the cover of the game is a little scary. This, like, again, I would never buy this game based on the cover. I'm superficial like that because there's too many games to choose from. But the game in here, I'm telling you, like, it doesn't fit. I don't know what it is. It's weird, but it's still cool and zany and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyways, all right. So each path and road adjacent to the Witch Hill says Imperial huntsmen and agents of the Inquisition patrol the Witchwood for escaped convicts fleeing to the east. So our objective is you may complete this mission when all adventurers rest together as a party at clue 1, 2, or 3, which is Pigskin Port, Gutfish Ford, or Stone Circle, with or without the Soothsayer's Head. Okay? And the rest I'm not going to read, I'm not going to talk about, I'm not going to show you. You guys are going to have fun. Those who don't know this game, you guys are going to have fun being surprised what happens and seeing how the game kind of works. So I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Based on you knowing, even if you don't know the game, we are escaped convicts fleeing this prison. We need to go, we could find the Soothsayer's Head, which we will do. We will do.
Yeah, we will do that.
It's right here. It's right near there. We'll just do it. But, and it'll be funny if we draw the like fungal parasite and all that stuff. I'm sure I've never done it yet. I haven't been unlucky enough to draw it, but I'm sure it's super annoying. Where to
take the head?
Take the head. So clue number 1 is the what is it? Pigskin Port.
Mm-hmm.
Pigskin Port. Jailer's cousin. I'll fix that in a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Clue number 2
is Gutfish Ford.
Gutfish Ford.
I don't remember.
Escape to the Elders.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just put.
Okay, and then 3.
Okay.
Stone Circle.
And what's happening to the Stone Circle again?
I don't remember.
So just read. No. Back one.
Back one?
Right there. Just read where the Stone Circle is there.
Warlocks of the Circle would offer decent price for the Soothsayer's Head.
Sell it to the Warlocks. Oh, they're not going to fit.
Why?
It's telling you.
Oh.
All right. I put a poll in the live chat so you guys can choose which way we go. I'll leave that in there for a minute. And you guys can decide how we're going to play this one. I've seen a couple of the endings. Just playing it and learning the game, obviously. But yeah. Mel's only played it once. I played it twice. Mm-hmm. Full disclosure. That's the only experience we have with it. Yeah, and only this scenario, again.
Yeah, I played once, but I think I've read through the rule book 3 or 4 times.
But every time I played, I've seen new enemies, new encounters. Things played out different. We went to different areas, different challenges. I played with different characters. This is like the 3rd, I think, character I've played with. No, 2nd. Yeah, because we played these characters yesterday. Mm-hmm. But I've tried some of the other characters from the expansions. I think that one's from an expansion, I think, but maybe not.
Is it? Is there a symbol that would tell me?
I don't know.
No.
Whatever. I think this guy's from the core box. But again, I just mixed them all together, so I didn't really pay attention to where they came from. While you guys are voting on the poll, Doc is insane. I don't know why he sent us all this stuff, but he obviously, wanted to help the company out. But there is many optional expansions to add more heroes, to add more stuff to the decks, to upgrade your game. There's also these, and this reminds me, Hexplorer does the same thing where they have the storybook on the side with the art and the lore. So even as we're playing through the game, you'll read stuff, but there's these little comic books to explain the areas and the monsters from those areas. So, you know, as we draw a monster, maybe one time we could like look it up and I'll show you guys. But some of these come with more missions to expand your campaigns and stuff.
Oh, cool, cool.
So you'll see it on their website. I've linked that stuff down below. But we're not playing with any of this stuff today, but there's like more lore. If you want to get into this world and understand, you know, the drugs they were doing when they came up with this game, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there is, you can go deep, my friend. There's lots of options, lots more stuff. There's some of the missions you can do that are in here. Yeah, you can play these standalone. You can play them as part of a campaign, is my understanding. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to know about like the Degenerate Dictionary, so fishoid freaks of the wetlands. So if we're in the wetlands and we run into Waken Kraken, you can read all about the Waken Kraken, who is a filth and a fishoid. There's some of the enemies in the game. Yeah, if you want to know, these little supplemental materials exist, and yeah, it was like a whole pack of these, but it's kind of neat. I think it's pretty cool, but yeah, I don't know. Crazy. Super in-depth lore. Yes, Doc, that's the best way to describe it. It's like crazy how deep they went with this game. It's like a huge passion project. You can tell they loved what they were doing. All right, I'm going to end the poll. Thank you, everyone, for voting. Much appreciated. Let's see where you guys want to take it. Oh, whacking Kraken? Or Waken Kraken?
There was a quick question from Alper earlier that was asking about the 3 that are not in the deck at the time, saying where our discard piles are. They're just underneath but upside down.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Just so that for the people that know the game.
This game's a table hog. They have 63 decks of cards that you need to keep. I mean, some that aren't even here in the box and whatever. There's tons of tokens. We have trays and trays of tokens down here at the bottom, but I have trays off screen of tokens. Yeah. I have bags of tokens that we're not playing with that are in the box. Like there's a ton of paper and cardboard here, like a ton. So to keep it organized, these trays are not included with the game. Obviously, they're located in the video description. If you're curious about them, I don't get a cut. I don't care. They're just awesome, and they help me stream these games and not take up the whole table and fit more on the camera. But I'm just putting the discard piles underneath face up. So I've removed the 3 XP monsters. You can see they're face up at the bottom. So if we ever draw down to them, we'll shuffle them into the deck, or if the Doom ever makes us shuffle them in. So they take out all the highest level monsters out of the monster decks. So you don't fight them right away, and the game will escalate as you go, obviously.
And these deck holders are linked in the video description, right? Because he's asking what are the deck holders.
Yeah, 100% I said. All right, so they have story even on the back describing each character, giving you suggested skills to buy, suggested weaknesses. We're not going to play with the weaknesses today. I have before. It's kind of neat mechanic, but you guys can discover that on your own. But they tell you what the class is you're playing as, the starting items you need, your starting skill. There's an ability to gain extra luck. Luck is used for rerolls. And yes, I'm not going to do it. I'll just mention, Doc warned me, please, this is like Terraforming Mars territory here. I'm getting kind of PTSD of that, where if you sneeze, you will knock your tokens. We're going to put these tiny little cardboard tokens on this flat sheet, and they kind of don't slide very well. They're pretty good. But you're tracking your damage, your max health, your XP, your luck, your gold are all tracked on this little track. And yes, you can bump them, and you track your statuses here with tokens. And there's your stats, basically your attributes. But you'll see, it'll make sense as we play through it. But just want to show you guys that. And so you have your starting items. You roll tests like agility to attack. They have obviously it's all the standard adventure game stuff, fantasy game stuff. You got your traits, your abilities, you can throw, there's consumables. Your skills are kind of neat. They have little abilities on them. You have requirements of using them, XP to buy them, but it's also XP to upgrade them to a mastercraft, master side or whatever, to do more of an ability. So yeah, that's how the skills work. It's all pretty straightforward stuff. Nothing revolutionary.
Do we need to, oh yeah, no. I just wanted to look at my suggested skills.
I have those open in a PDF, so you do not ever have to pick the sheet up again.
Awesome, thank you.
Very poor design choice to put the suggested stuff on the back. where you have to actually clean off your board to flip it over to look as you get skills throughout the game. I don't know why they put those there. But they released in the FAQ, the errata, there's a table so you don't have to flip over your sheet in the middle of the game when you're trying to figure out what skill you should probably buy for your character. Hey, Jackpot Man, how's it going?
Hello. Also, Sean is here. Hi, Sean, and says that you and I really pop out with all the colors in the background. Like we stand out more.
I thought I wore black on purpose so
Same.
you guys wouldn't see me. So I'd kind of hide.
It says like we pop out more than.
Oh, you want to see pop out? Let's go back to the first screen. Boom!
Oh no, we just lost people again.
Whoa! What happened? My screen's broken. Whoa! Hey, dude. All right. Daniel says weakness, colorblind.
Yeah.
Does it have that issue?
You know what? I think the colors for colorblind people would be okay.
Oh, there are alternate map stuff. Show me the reference sheet. So the map's a little noisy and it's hard to discern where things are. But again, there's people who made fan-made maps. There's multiple versions, multiple you can print off. But here's one that we use to kind of, I've had to reference this every time I play to understand what is a path, what is a road, what's adjacent to what. You may want to get one of these and have it open on your phone or on your screen or print it out. It will help you because this map is a mess. But once you play it a bunch, you get used to it. So it's only really a mess for the first few playthroughs.
Yeah, you get used to it.
But yeah, I'm not going to explain what's adjacent to what. We're just going to play it. You guys will get an idea. You can figure that stuff out if you care to play it yourself.
Yeah, so we'll reference this if we need to.
I could be here for like an hour or 2 hours teaching the game and try to explain every little aspect of it. But, you know, some of it we're not even going to see today, but you'll get an idea.
Yeah, it's probably easier just to explain as we are doing things.
Kanji's here.
Hello.
What did I just log in to see? The colors, my eyes. The goggles, they do nothing. Anyway, so yeah. All right.
So I think we're just good to begin, right?
We're good to start. So the phases in the game.
Here you go.
Are they on there?
No.
Yeah, they are right there.
Oh, yeah. On
So
the
the game kind of flows like this. Super straightforward. Sequence of play. Every round we have a map action phase, a danger phase, and an encounter phase. Okay. During the map action phase, you can choose how you're going to travel. Reminds me exactly of Explore It. You start an Explore It game, and you're like, do we move cautious? Do we move like aggressively? Normally, based on how you do that, it's more risky. We're going to choose how our stance is, though, which is kind of neat. And then if you rest, you have different options based on the stance you are or where you're at. You get different options. And that's all there. Oh, yeah, to help you understand the map, there is tables here to understand like what thing has the danger level for places that aren't marked. Traveling through the water, which things connect to which things. So they knew it's like kind of an issue. So they have it there in tables and text and in the rules. Matt says, come join the party. Leave your keys in the bowl by the door.
Yeah, we don't want anyone driving.
Whoa, dude. Yeah. Doc, you need to be careful. Don't just say this game's right up someone's alley. You need to have the caveat of saying, if you can get through the art, the graphic design, and the quality of components, and the amount of reference sheets at your table, this game might be for you if you like complex adventure games. Okay? This is not for everybody. This is like very far from for everybody, right? There is so many other games to choose from that do the similar kind of adventure game, that do have, you know, more accepted art styles that fit the theme, that have better quality components, more refined gameplay, a more streamlined system with less rulebook lookups, with, better play tested games and stuff. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. I know, Bob, you're super passionate. Doc. You love, I just saw Bob right above him, but sorry, Doc, I know you're super passionate and all, and just, yeah, I'm just throwing that out there because I see him trying to get Kanji to play the game, but like, yeah, just, I
do agree. This is not for everyone.
I think Kanji would like the game. I do. But if he's already saying like, oh, I can't get past the like art. Yeah, if you can, it is a cool game here. There is definitely a cool game. That's what I'm trying to emphasize today. So yeah, keep that in mind.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So initially we want to go down to clue 6 so that we can find the head that we're looking for. So
I know, Doc. Just be more clear, okay? You know, Kanji will just buy anything. So watch out. No, I'm just joking.
He's easily influenced.
Yes, I'm just joking. Kanji knows I'm joking, but kind of. He can be swayed really easily. So I'm trying to, make sure just let him know, right? Just let him know. All right.
So we're trying to get down here to the crossroads.
First things first. So the poll, you guys wanted us to go. 59% voted to go towards a stone circle.
Okay.
So this is where we're going. We're going to have to get over here through the wetlands. So I think they want to see some fish people and fungus and stuff. I don't know. You guys are crazy. Second place was Gutterfish Ford, where it's just the elders, us escaping, saying, screw this guy. And nobody, like 18%, want us to take it to where the jailer wants us to go. So we're already screwing over this jailer. He let us out of jail, told us to go get the soothsayer's head. But we're already like, the chat's like, screw this guy. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, like once the jailer lets you out, and that's all you needed from them, right?
So that's the way we're going to go. That's the way we're going to go.
Okay. So we have to go pick up the head first here.
So first
you have to pick a movement.
Yep. So you have these little tokens on your board. For movement around the map, you can travel cautious, which of course is a severed pair of legs. I don't know. Or you can be bold. Okay. So the difference is there are some cool little reference cards. Again, fan-made reference cards. These things are awesome. I printed these out and laminated these. You can find them in the link in the video description. There's tons of amazing fan-made files to help you understand this zany game. But if you move cautious, okay, you can move just to an adjacent space, or you can rest, okay? And there's other things about stealthily trying to evade monsters. But if you move bold, okay, you can do crazier stuff by traveling by water, going faster down roads. And when you rest, you can do things like exploring and more options. And you can hunt, which means you can have a better chance of fighting more monsters. So if you want to try to stay a little bit safer and avoid monsters and travel quietly, you'll go slower, you'll do less, which makes sense. Or you can go bold and, go crazy, but more than likely you're going to run into some trouble. Make sense? Makes sense.
Makes sense. Can I actually have those on this side?
Yes, you can use those.
Thanks.
I'm just joking. Yeah, of course. All right.
Okay, so I think in this case, we want to move bold, right? Because we want to move right to the crossroads.
So our option, moving adjacency, the roads themselves are a space. So if you moved adjacent, we went cautious, just went slow. And you can move bold and still move cautiously. Or move, you can do bold stance and still just move adjacent on a road. So we would just go to the road. Okay? We would just go to the road. Or Mel's hinting at doing a forced march, where we just say it's a known road. Let's travel bold and go all the way to the crossroads in one round. Because it's just like any other adventure game we play. There is a timed pressure mechanic. The danger level's going up in this game. The doom level's going up. You're being hunted by the law. You'll run into more monsters. You'll start to get overwhelmed. We need to hurry. We're running away from the law. Like, we got to hurry, right?
Yeah.
So Mel wants to rush it. It's a little riskier.
Well, we haven't taken any damage. I feel like we're full strength. I mean, it's okay at this point.
I just want you guys to understand, like, these are the kind of decision points going through this. So Mel's just like, let's boot it. And we're gonna do that. Let's just boot it to show you guys how that works. You can't boot it along a path. So these places everywhere else on the map, other than these purple bordered or pink bordered. So if the road or the line connecting two places has a pink border or purple border, it's a road. If it has a brown art with the color of the region on the edge of it, so if it's a brown road, it is a path. We can't force march on a path. We'd have to explore the path first, which would matter when you're playing it in a later scenario. You'll be able to force march and boot it faster through explored paths. So you want to explore the map as you go through a campaign to make getting around the map easier, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, which is cool for the campaign.
Yeah. So we're doing bold.
Yeah,
so
we're going bold. We've taken no damage. We're full health. Let's do it.
And we're traveling as a party. In this game, you can split up and go different directions and travel different. If Mel decides you want to travel cautious and I chose bold, that automatically means we're separating. we are not in the same party. So she would maybe travel cautiously. I would maybe decide I want to boot it over here. And we could do that.
Yeah, because maybe in future campaigns or missions, you have multiple objectives that you need to get at the same time.
Or,
right?
if you're playing with 3 or 4 players, maybe it's good to split up in a party of 2 and 2 to get more things done.
Yep.
But they do hint in the rule book, like you kind of don't want to go out there on your own. It's very risky. So every character has weaknesses, right? And if you're traveling in a party, you maybe can highlight each other's weaknesses.
Yeah.
So we're going to boot it. The only problem is when you do boot it with a forced march, you have to roll a constitution test, I believe. And if you fail, you will then get the stat that stops you from forced marching again until you rest.
Yeah, we do have to do this.
Yeah, you'll be fatigued, which won't allow you to force march until you rest again. So we're just going to roll 2 dice, and I believe it's against Constitution. And we'll say it right here on your little table about forced marching.
Yes.
All right.
So what's your Constitution?
My Constitution is 8.
So Rob needs to roll 8 or less.
And I rolled a 7.
Okay, my Constitution is a 7. And I rolled a 7. So
Boom.
we're good.
So we're not fatigued. We're good to keep running if we want to run.
Okay.
But we're going to stop here at the crossroads. Oh, anyone else hear Bone Thugs and Harmony in there?
There's a message from Matt where he already changed the lyrics from this game.
All right, let's find it.
Yeah.
A
little bit more. It's like a longer one from Matt.
Too much chat.
Oh, it's right there.
I was going to play this game, then I got high.
Oh, no, never mind.
Take it off my shelf of shame, but I got high. Now I'm going to play cards, and I know why. Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
Sorry, wrong song. I just, yeah. Wrong song, sorry.
Oh, Matt, you're awesome. These are funny.
I know, the chat's hilarious.
I know, you guys, I knew this stream today would be like wacky. But yeah, it's all good. It fits. All the freaks come out when this game hits the table, you know, which makes sense. I'm telling you, makes sense. All right, so we're at the crossroads. So that's doing our map action phase. Now every round you gotta go to a danger phase, depending how you travel, whatever. So we're gonna draw a danger card. Mel's gonna give a quick shuffle to that. And we're going to draw a danger card, which is going to help raise the doom in certain locations and find out if we're going to encounter anything or have monsters. So I'll show this card. Actually, here, I can probably show that one over here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of green screen craziness. So this one says, the air feels thick and your hair stands on end. Some devilry is afoot. So this little number here tells us that the card is kind of doing a danger check, kind of saying, are you in a place that has a danger of 5 or less? If so, you're going to fight some monsters and have an encounter. And these skulls means epic monster. So this would suck. If we're in a dangerous area, it's more likely we're going to have bad things happen. And this encounter card and these monsters are actually going to come from a different deck based on where you are. And this one says reshuffle the danger deck. So I think this goes back in. I've never seen this card yet, but so we are in a location that actually tells us it has no danger level of its own. So some places have their own danger level printed right on the map at the location. Most roads and paths and crossroads, little location here, it'll tell you, or it just doesn't have a number. So you actually go by the number of the region, which we are in the fields. So we're going to go by this number, the fields. Okay. So we check this number to this number. It is higher than, so we ignore the rest of the card. I'm assuming this gets shuffled back in.
Yeah, I can just reshuffle
it. Does go back in, Alper? Okay. Yeah, go ahead and shuffle it back in. But yeah, so we're good. We're safe. Nothing's going to jump on us. No encounters to deal with. So yeah, we're just chilling at the crossroads.
So it was risky what we did, but it paid off.
So that basically skips the encounter phase. We didn't have an encounter. So we're back around to a new round. It's just that straightforward, right? Until you get into a fight and stuff.
Which will happen.
Whoa, which will happen.
Okay, so because we wanted to grab this clue that's here or get this loot.
Yes, let's read the mission book, which explains how to interact with clue 6.
We need to choose our stance though first. Yeah, because we're gonna stay in.
I understand that, Mel, but
I see.
Let's find out about what we're trying to do here. When you successfully explore at clue 6, the crossroads, remove clue 6 and draw a random card from the mission deck. If you draw the Soothsayer's Head, you may discard the remaining card in the mission deck, the Fungal Parasite, to the loot discard pile. If you draw the Fungal Parasite, you must take that card, you become sick from handling the Mummified Head, and you draw again, taking the Soothsayer's Head.
Okay.
All right. So we choose our stance. I assume we just choose cautious to help avoid trouble right now.
Yeah.
And we're going to stay where we are. Rest. We're going to rest, which will allow us to... Oh, no, we need to do bold. We need to do bold to explore.
Bold to explore. Sorry, just checking.
Sorry. We need to do bold to explore. So we're going to stay where we are.
Okay.
We're going to explore. That means one of us is going to roll a perception test, I think, right? That's what explore says?
Yep.
All right.
Mine is only 7, yours is 9, so
Mine's 9, so I'm going to be the one to do the test. So I rolled a 4.
Nice.
So it is less than my perception of 9. So we successfully explore, which puts us an explore token at the crossroads. All right. And then we get to remove clue 6. So this is us finding the Soothsayer's Head, maybe. Well, yeah, we do get it no matter what. So I'm going to shuffle this up and let Mel pick.
Oh, no.
And we're going to find out if we find the Fungal Parasite or we're kind of immune to that and we just find the head and we're good. So far, out of 2 plays I've played this, I never got the Fungal Parasite first. And the last one, Mel, she's never saw it. So we don't exactly know what it does yet. But
I know, but now I've probably jinxed it because you've gotten lucky and now I'm picking.
Pick a card, Mel. Pick a card. Any card.
This one is standing out to me.
Yes.
Yes, we did it.
We got the Soothsayer's Head.
Okay.
So we avoided the Fungal Parasite.
Okay, nice.
So we're not going to look like this. Okay? We're not going to look like this.
Thank goodness.
Woo! All right, so this one gets discarded to the loot discard pile, which I'll just put there for now, I guess. So the Soothsayer's Head is normally in the loot deck. I think it's just a regular loot item, but for this, it's like a story item. And it says, when you dig up the Soothsayer's Head, its haunting, raspy voice whispers to you in an ancient tongue. If any adventurer in the party meets the requirements of the Soothsayer's Head card, which is either having a magic stat of 7 or higher, or being a Puritan, which I'm a human hunter wild. You're a human fighter rogue?
Yep.
All right, we're not Puritans, but it's fine, one or the other. They can make sense of his desperate pleas to be returned to his home at Stone Circle. All right, the head's asking us. We understand his crazy language because I have magic of 7. So I'm understanding he wants to make it to the Stone Circle. So you guys actually chose his home. So the head wants us to go there. The jailer who buried the head wants us to take it to his cousin at Pigskin Port. So this is what's going on here.
Interesting.
What the hell game are we playing today? All right. If you lose the Soothsayer's Head, place it in the loot discard pile. Do not place it back into the mission deck. So again, we could have skipped the head. We could find the head. And we could even lose the head. And that will change our ending and our future paths and our way through the campaign, which is neat. All right.
Okay. So now we're all done with our rest.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't need to.
Okay.
Actually
Another
rest.
danger card.
Oh, you want, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you get whatever. So this one, it's Brutalberg is named here. It says filthy vermin and worse infest the back streets and sewers of the cult-ridden decaying fortress city, Brutalberg. So the danger level, how that works is the danger level at Brutalberg will go up. It is a town or a settlement or whatever. So it has a green town level, which means it's awesome when you go there to buy items and stuff. You get to see more cards, buy more things. It's better. But because the danger level is going up there, it's actually going to drop that number down to a green 4 and be a less cool town. And eventually if it gets down to 1 and goes another danger level, it will switch to an orange token and the danger level will start going up. And danger level means more likely we're going to see bad things happen to us or run into encounters. Then it wants to check if we're at a law space, which we are. There is a law symbol printed here on the board. So the crossroads is a place where the law are patrolling and looking for us. So because of that, if we have to have an encounter right now, we're going to be drawing from the law deck, this deck right here, instead of the lowlands decks. And of course, it is checking 1. We are in the fields.
Oh, it compares to this one, right?
Oh, sorry. Yes, the bounty. Sorry, the bounty level. Okay. Sorry, it's compared to the bounty level. Thank you. So we are definitely less than the bounty level. So we are going to have an encounter. And because we're playing, our party has 2 people in it. We're going to draw 2 monsters from the law deck.
Okay. And under is good?
Yeah, yeah. Whatever.
I guess like that.
So we found a smelling dwarf. Okay.
Okay.
2 minutes law. It has enemies have experience you can gain from them, which is also kind of like their level, like how hard they are. They have gold they can give you. They have their target. So this will go after the character with the most magic. It attacks for 3. It has some abilities that you'll have to look up on a reference sheet. It has armor, which can block hits, of course, and it has a health. And then it has crazy art, of course.
So who has the highest magic? My magic is 6. I think you said
My
7.
magic's 7.
All right, so he's coming to you.
So this guy is definitely coming to fight me. Yeah, we'll just... Okay. Another law. So we found an Imperial Huntsman who has human, traded, law, and noble. This guy's a little stronger. He has 2 experience and 2 gold you get if you beat him. He has goes after the highest perception, which I think is me. Attacks for 5. Has 1 armor, 6 health, has pierce 1, so he'll get through armor if I had it, and pursue. This is bad.
Yeah, I can help you.
So do we want to talk about bribing?
I don't know if we have enough.
The only problem is bribing. I think you roll like a morale check or something, and we have to both pass. And if we don't, the bounty level goes up, and you still have to fight them. But yeah.
We might be able to fight them because even though the enemies are not engaged with me, I can still help in the fight. I can still try to hurt them. So I'm just looking up pursue. You cannot escape from a fight while targeted by this monster unless this monster is dazed or hexed.
And yes, we could flee. That's the other thing. You can run from a combat by trying to pass tests. If you don't, you have to defend and you're going to get hit and stuff. But we're going to go head on here. Hopefully it doesn't just end the playthrough literally in like the second round of the game.
We should be okay.
But first things first, so they have no, there are abilities that happen right when they engage you. And next we choose a stance. So because I have 2 enemies in front of me, you can go guard stance, which makes you more defensive, obviously, and assault stance, which makes you more offensive, obviously. So I'm going to go in the guard stance. Mel, what stance are you taking?
I'm going to take assault stance. I don't have any enemies engaged with me, so I don't need to worry about protecting myself.
Yeah, you don't even have to roll. We'll just throw this on here for now.
Sure.
Okay. So I have the highest perception, so I go first in combat, is my understanding. In combat, you roll 2 green dice for your defense, testing against your agility. If you succeed, can I actually see the back of that one reference sheet that shows like those tables? It'll make more sense visually. Yeah, right here. So in combat, you roll green dice for defensive, red for attack dice, and purple for power dice. Depending on your stance, the power die will help you defensively or offensively. If you're doing a defensive roll and you're in an assault stance and you pass, so you roll under your equal to or less than your stat, you actually block damage from all monsters equal to the highest value die. If you fail, you take all the damage. If you're in guard stance and you pass, you can choose the power die or the defensive die, whichever one's higher, to help you block damage from all enemies. But if you fail, you actually still can use the power die to help block damage from one monster. On attack, if you go assault, you roll the red dice, and if you pass, you inflict damage equal to the highest power die or attack die, your choice. If you miss, nothing happens. In guard stance on the attack dice, if you pass, highest single attack die hit, and again, if you miss, it completely fails. So that's kind of how combat works. So I'm going to start. I'm going to roll 2 green dice, 2 red offensive dice. And because I'm in guard stance, my power die is going to help me, hopefully defensively, not take the 8 damage that's coming in here. Sorry, I need the, I have it right here. So again, sorry, it wasn't, so I have pursue only if I'm in bold stance, which I am. So what's pursue?
That's the one where you can't flee.
Okay, so we can't escape.
Yeah.
Summon means if this guy's alive at the end of the first round, he's going to bring another law guy into the combat, which sucks. Pierce 1 means when he hits, if I had armor, it would matter, but it doesn't. It would go through. And then pursue.
Same.
Oh, yeah, pursue. Oh, yeah. So, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Just this guy who has 4 health. We got to kill this stupid smelling dwarf before he brings another enemy.
4 health, though. That might be okay between both of us.
Yeah. So he's definitely my target.
He's a target, yeah.
So I'm going to choose him as my target if I do any damage to hit him. And Alper is saying the combat resolution is so awesome in the game. It is definitely clever and definitely fun, considering it's just rolling boring old D6s against stats. But
It's different for sure.
But it is clever. There is more to it with the abilities and things. Some neat choices and stuff for sure. All right. So first I'm going to check defensively because I'm scared. And I'm going to check my agility, which I rolled a 7, so I'm equal to or less than my current agility, which is great. That means I pass. So I take my highest value die and I literally block 4 damage from every enemy. But if my power die was higher because I'm in guard stance, I could, if it was like a 6, I could take that instead because I went guard. Or if I failed on my defense die, let's say I rolled that and I failed, I could take my power die and block damage from one monster and choose to block, right? But I passed. So I get to block 4 damage from both of them, and I don't even care about my power die. So this guy hits for 3. I fully block that. This guy hits for 5, so I do take 1 damage. Okay, so I move my little red thing up my little meter here. If it ever lines up with my heart token, I'm defeated. It's bad. Very, very bad. Okay, and then on offense, I rolled 2 1s, which is like an auto success, a super pass. But the problem in combat is I now take the value of my highest die to hit him. And because I wasn't in assault stance, I don't get to use my power die offensively. So literally, I'm gonna hit at this guy for 1 lame damage. Okay? 1 damage. That freaking sucks.
So he needs 3 more?
He needs 3 more to die. So now Mel's going to roll. And the cool part is they're engaged with me. They're fighting against me. And the damage and all that's simultaneous. So you hit them. Their abilities hit you. All that happens together. Now it goes to Mel's turn because she's next in perception order. She gets to roll. She's not even going to roll defensive dice because these enemies aren't engaged with her. They're at our location in the same place. So she's allowed to get in the fight and mix up with them. And they will recheck who they engage with at the start of every combat round. So if somehow I got poison and my magic dropped and hers was now higher, this guy could engage her and that kind of stuff. So it's really neat.
So I'm going to target the same guy. We need to get 3 more damage on here so he doesn't summon.
Yep, kill him. Oh my god.
Well, I think we got it.
Oh, you did. Oh,
so
yeah, you're
I
in
definitely
assault.
pass, and because I'm in assault, I can take my purple die instead of.
Question: what are you attacking with? What's the stat you're testing against?
Oh, sorry, I'm testing with agility.
I forgot to test mine. So let's say you're attacking with your fancy saber.
Yeah.
So it'll tell you which stat you're attacking with based on the weapon you're using, and she also gets +1 morale during a fight. We got to remember that it's adjusted. I was attacking with the hunting bow. I forgot to mention, you can choose to do a combat action or an attack action on your turn. Sometimes you have items that have combat actions on them. Like I was playing before a character that had to keep reloading a rifle. So I would have to do a combat action on a turn, and you can only do an attack or a combat on a turn, not both. So I would like shoot with this rifle that went through armor. It was super neat. Then the next round, if I wanted to use that same rifle, instead of butting them with the end of it, I could do a melee attack with it, or I would have to take a combat action to load it back up, which was super neat. But these, we just have attack, so it's straightforward. So I test against my agility on attack. But sometimes you'll see like there's axes and clubs and shields, and these things will test against different stats based on the character and the item and stuff.
Yeah, and sorry, both of mine are both the same. They both attack with agility.
Agility, yeah. So I forgot to mention I test my defense against agility, but we both also are offensive weapons. We're testing them against agility.
Yeah. So I passed my agility test, obviously with a 2 is just an auto success, and then we'll do 4 damage from the purple die.
And 4 damage takes this guy out. So Mel took him out, so she actually collects him as a trophy, which she'll gather the experience and the gold after the combat. You just hold him over here.
Thank you.
Put him there. Okay, so now it's back to me. So I have this Imperial Lawman. He's going after the highest perception. That hasn't changed.
Nope.
So he's still engaged with me. Because he hits for 5, I'm still going to play defensively. He does have 1 armor and 6 health. So like we could try to go offensively to take him out, but I don't want to take too much damage. My morale is kind of low, and when you rest to heal, you have to test against morale, and if you fail, you only heal half your morale, rounded up. Although I do have a fieldcraft skill, which when I go to heal up later, I may use my constitution instead for recovery, which is an 8.
Oh, wow, okay.
So worst case scenario, I'll heal 4, unless I'm, what is the one? Poisoned or, no, what's the one that doesn't let you heal? I forget. I forget. But one of them doesn't let you actually get health back.
Infected.
Infected. So if I was infected, that's the worst case scenario. You don't get to heal when you rest. It sucks. You just get rid of infected. But if I succeed, I heal a total of 8. So in my mind, I don't want to take too much damage here on this first one because I don't want to be forced to rest if you're not in a situation to be forced to rest. It's kind of inefficient, so I don't want to take longer. So I'm going to stay in guard though to try to just keep my health down and maybe do a bit of damage to him. All right, I rolled an 8 on my defense, which is just what I needed, an 8 or less, and I can take the 5 and fully block 5 from all enemies engaged with me.
Nice.
This power die doesn't do anything again because I was in guard stance and I'm already good on my test. Now, I'm doing an agility test. I passed with 7 on my attack dice. So I take the highest value one and do that much damage to the enemy, which is blocked by 1 armor. So 4 damage gets through. Boom. Your turn.
All right. So again, I'm going to stay in assault stance.
Yeah, the weird thing, I see Albert mentioning it. So this has the range trait on it there beside my thing. But I was kind of disappointed that range doesn't really do anything in this game except if an ability references it. Sometimes you might have skills that say you can use this skill except if it's against a range enemy or a melee enemy, or if you get attacked by a range attack, your armor blocks this or whatever.
I have an example of that, I guess, for my skill. For each 6 you roll on the power die, inflict 1 piercing damage on a monster targeting you without range.
And you can only do that when you're in guard stance based on that symbol there.
Yes, but just how it says without range. So anyways, I failed this test because my agility is 8. I rolled 9. But I think that's fine because I think you will be able to kill him next turn. I don't think I need to spend any luck to reroll because we're not in a dire situation. So I think we'll just leave it as I fail this test.
I think there's some misunderstanding in the chat. When I said I don't want to take longer, I mean thematically, I don't want to be on the road too long. I need to get away from the enemy. We need to get to where we're going, or the danger level goes up, the law comes after us, the enemies get worse. No.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the minutes of a stream.
I'm not talking about turn length or stream time. You guys are nuts. You know our streams here. Like, I don't care.
We're in the game.
Yeah, we're playing on a weekend, man. I don't care how long the stream goes. Get out of here, losers.
Okay, so I failed this test. I'm not going to spend luck to reroll because I think you got it handled on your next attack.
Yeah, we're fully role-playing. Get out of here, guys.
Yeah. We're in this
I'm in this weird world, and I want to get the hell out of it alive.
Yeah, we're escaped convicts running.
Also, my eyeballs hurt. That's another thing. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. That never gets old. All right,
back to you because I failed my test.
Okay. You suck. All right.
I mean, I can re-roll, but I don't think
I'm staying in guard again. That worked good last time.
Yeah.
I got some blocks. Hopefully, I keep passing that defensive roll. I did. Nice. Okay. So I block 4 of the damage, but I could use my power die instead because I'm in guard stance and I succeeded at my defense roll. So I can actually block 6 from all enemies.
Yes.
Even if I failed my roll because I'm in guard stance, I could choose instead to use this to block 1 enemy, like I said before. So that would still be awesome. Like, that's an amazing power die roll. Now on my attack, which I test against my agility, I rolled an 8, which is what I need. I take the highest die. Boom, I hit him. He blocks 1 for armor, takes 4 damage. That is well enough above his 6 health. He would be at 7. Is it? What did I say? I'm doing 4.
Yeah,
he'd be at 8 damage, which is higher than his 6 health. So he's toast. And I did the final blow, so I take him as a trophy. And we're done the combat. Did we have an encounter on this one? No, right?
No
encounter.
No
okay.
encounter on this one.
If we had an encounter, we would do it after the combat, but we didn't draw an encounter. You'll see those later. So now we just get our rewards. Okay, so I get 2 experience and 2 gold.
I get 1 and 1.
So I'm going to try to move this token. See, the tokens don't slide very much, but if I sneeze, we're in trouble.
Yeah. It just becomes a problem when they're like on top of each other and you're trying to move them around.
Yeah, yeah, you bump them, and I'll look down sometimes. I'll be like, oh man. Yeah, get a dice tray if you play this game, so you don't bump your stuff around rolling dice all over the place.
Yeah, and even on the board, you have lots of tokens.
Oh yeah, the board gets full of tokens. All right, so then we can possibly find loot. So how it works is you total up, I believe, all the XP of the enemies you defeated personally. Then you do a test of rolling a d6 against that number. And if you roll equal to or less, then you get to draw a loot card. So I got 2 experience of all of the monsters I defeated. So if I roll a 2 or less, I get to draw loot. Nope.
So I have 1 XP, so I have to roll 1 or less. I got 4. Nope. Okay.
So give me your guy. We're going to discard these.
For us.
So these go in a discard pile, which is just underneath our deck. So if we ever run out, we'll shuffle them back in. Okay, that's it. End of round. Next, how are we traveling?
Let's move this so we can look at the map.
We're done in the crossroads, so we can boot it. So we're trying to get over to Stone Circle. So we have some options. We could go to the East Bridge. Oh, Sean Flores. Spoiler alert, I heard Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is the big boss, but first you have to conquer the Grateful Dead. Here's some loot.
Oh, Sean, thank you
Sean,
so
you're
much.
crazy. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated. Super chat. Thank you.
Thank you. One thing before we move is we won combat here. So we get to lower our law.
No, when you fight the law, you don't lower anything.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Correct? Anyone in the chat know? I believe when you fight lawmen, the danger levels don't drop.
Okay, I thought it was only loot monsters, but you are probably correct.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the law.
Okay.
But if you defeat normal monsters, you drop the danger level down 1. And if you beat an epic monster, you drop the danger level down of your location down to 1. So even if it's at 6 and you fight an epic monster, boom, it's back down to 1.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, we're getting the corrects in the chat.
Correct.
Thank you guys.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay, never mind.
Like I said, lots of exceptions, lots of rulebook lookup stuff. Mel's read the rulebook like 3 times. She's still like, I'm not sure how that works. I totally understood. I told you we're not getting the rules correct today, but keep in mind, keep the rulebook and reference sheets handy. You will need them as you play this game.
Okay, so it's loot and law. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so now we can choose.
So back to what I was saying, we can go to the East Bridge, and from the East Bridge, we could travel down a path and go to the Hunt Lodge, and then go through here somewhere, through the wetlands to get to the Stone Circle. Mm-hmm. We could travel down the water, spend some money, go down the water and travel from like Dusk Falls down here and try to go up this way. Or we could go through the Witch Hill here, but there's law roaming around over here. We could try to go through this way. So like we already have like 3 options here, but from where we are,
I think we could also go down here and come and cut across.
Do we do that maybe and just go down this way? But it is a forced march to the graveyard,
which is a 4.
A forced march to the fishmonger camp. We could then do a traveling across a river, whatever that's called.
Which this is free.
Oh, okay.
It's only the downriver that we have to pay to.
So traveling along, and the river only goes in one direction, but it does split. Like you could travel down. You can give me the map reference if you have it.
This one?
Yeah, I just want to see. So this is a fan-made map reference for those that weren't here earlier. So I'm just checking. So from the crossroads, yes, we can travel down the graveyard and go across the fishmonger camp. Oh, there's like the catacombs down here, Ghost Gate. Like I don't even see these. Oh, I see. Wow, okay. Huh. I don't know. So
it'd be interesting to go.
Okay, so everyone watching, we need your help here. So you can, even if you don't know the game, you basically can know that you're traveling in certain regions, right? But in these areas we're traveling, like we know in the fields, it's only 2 danger level. But if we start traveling here in the woods on the paths, the danger level is actually a 4 to start. So that's obviously more dangerous to go, not to mention the law that's roaming around, okay?
Yeah. As we just saw, we had law fights.
So even if we travel down this path, it's the danger level of the Witchwood. And remember, we can't run through the paths. The paths, you have to do it 1 space at a time. So it takes like 2 turns to move down a path that is not explored. But over here is all road. So we could go this way and kind of push it. Yes, you might fail your constitution test and become fatigued and not be able to force march again. So then you're forced to rest. So then our rushing it kind of like works against us and, it's a little risky. But I do like the way it's a 2 here, only a 4 at the graveyard, a 2 here right now, but then it's like a 4 over here.
And then
or actually we go to here, right? Like how is that attached? From Tomb Lake.
Tomb Lake?
Where's Tomb Lake?
I don't know.
Not even there. Oh, this is not a location. This is the regions level. You don't go there. I don't. Well, you do because it has a name or a symbol. Maybe that map's not correct.
Where's the black tree?
The black tree is here.
Oh, so it should be like right here. But yeah, okay.
Dusk Falls is
But it
there?
does look like oh, Tomb Lake. Oh, hold on.
Oh, Tomb Lake is there.
Sorry.
It looks like it's...
So Fishmonger Camp, which is this one, can take us to Dusk Falls.
Yeah, right here.
It can take us to...
Tower Island. Yeah. The Ghost Gate. Yeah.
Okay, so from...
Fishmonger Camp. These are all like connected on the same like little lake.
Oh, so then
we can
from
just
here
travel
we
from
can
one
travel...
to the other.
From here we can travel right to here.
Yes, okay, that works.
Okay, so then we can skip this one.
And
which
the danger level down here in the wetlands right
Okay.
now is 3 out on the roads.
Okay. Travel by boat.
Travel by boat?
Yeah, which I think is what we think if we come down here and travel by boat.
But you can also go up to
Oh,
East
well,
Bridge
we
and
could
travel
go.
down the river here.
So should we pay? This is going to cost us two gold pieces each. If we go just across this way where it's free.
Let's just go this way.
Yeah, I think
Do
so
you think?
too.
Or
Yeah.
you want to pull it?
No. Well, it's up to you. We can pull it.
Well, we know we're going this way, so there's really only kind of like 2 directions. It's like, actually, there's 3-ish. There's like go through the forest. It's actually like 4. Okay, I'm gonna divide this into a poll for 4 places to go, and we need to know now because it changes like the direction we go, and you guys can decide.
Can I use the washroom while you make that poll?
No.
Thanks.
East through the woods. Okay. Sorry, guys. East. East. And I'll zoom in on the map. You guys will see what I'm talking about here. East through east past Witch Hill. I don't know what the river is called. East, then down river. South by the graveyard. All right. Okay, so I put a poll in the live chat. So here's the directions we're thinking. Let's see if I can move this. Yeah. Okay. So the options, there's 4 options in the chat. You guys can vote if you're watching this live. Open up the chat. You'll see the poll in there. You guys can decide. So I've put option 1 is east past Witch Hill. So we travel like this direction to get to the stone circle. So the most north, you know, along the top, right? Then the second one is going east, but then sneaking back here through the Hunt Lodge.
Okay.
Okay, and then going like either up here or down here. We'll see how it's going danger-wise when we get there, if we make it there. The next one is going to East Bridge, but then traveling down the river to Dusk Falls. Or do we go south through the graveyard and then across to Dusk Falls?
Okay.
So we'll go whichever way you guys want us to go. You can see danger levels, so you kind of get an idea. We know when we're roaming out here in the blue, it's a 2. Once we get to East Bridge, though, it uses the Witch Woods level of 4. Where are you? Yeah, it uses the 4, okay? And then once we're over here, like, this is a town at the Hunt Lodge. We could technically buy stuff there, maybe. It's a town level, so there's no danger there. We're kind of safe there. But when we're out on any of these paths, they're no longer roads anymore. I think this is a road, though. If we go by Witch Hill, this is a road.
Yeah.
But then once we get to the brown, it's paths, and we move a little slower.
Yep.
But you see all the locations, all the danger levels. You can see the green is good. Those are town levels for now. The higher the orange numbers, the more dangerous it is. I don't know if the regions are more gentle. I don't know if like the enemies here are easier than the enemies here versus up in Vomit Hill here and Blinding Corner. I'm just joking.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I don't know.
Oh.
Oh no! What happened there? The table fell. Holy. Let's see. Excuse me. I'm gonna take a drink and then we'll close the poll. So if you're watching, get in the poll, vote. You guys decide which way we go, and we can blame you if things go horribly bad. All right. Close the poll. The art broke Streamlabs. Yes, done. 59% want us to go south by the graveyard.
Okay.
Oh, we've never done that before. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was where I was kind of interested in going as well. So.
And I didn't see that when we played yesterday. I was like, I didn't even think of that as an option. I just thought going this way.
Yeah, we went down the river.
Yeah. So yesterday when we played, we did go to this one, I think, right?
Yeah.
When I played the first time, I went to this one just because I got here and it got dangerous, and I was like, I want to try. I want to try out against the law. So I went this direction to go through here on purpose. But it wasn't even that bad. I didn't run into anything too crazy, so it was kind of easy. But again, this is just the intro mission, so I guess sometimes. But I've seen it where I was on death's door, and I was literally like one hit away from dying, and I got out of a fight. I was lucky. But yeah.
Okay, so what kind of stance do you want? Do you want?
I say we keep booting it.
Yeah, bold stance. I'm
Bold
down.
stance. All right, so we're gonna just force march it.
Whoa.
Down to the graveyard.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do a constitution test to see if we get fatigued. I rolled a 7 against my 8, so we're good. I'm good.
I'm fatigued because I rolled a 9
So grab a
against.
fatigue token,
Unless
put it
I
on your
want
board.
to re-roll with a luck.
That's what you want to spend your luck on?
I'm just talking it out that it's an option. But we
Man.
can't force march now.
Luck is not infinite, right?
I know.
So I gain extra luck when I stealth to avoid a fight while I'm in an outside space. But like that, I have never had that line up yet.
I had mine one time. So mine is when you destroy 2 or more monsters in a single combat round using a blade, and my counter gain 1 luck.
Okay.
I had it happen once only.
Yeah, so it's very rare. Like luck is very rare. That's an 8, Rob. Did I roll an 8? Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. Thank you, Alper. Did I pass though?
Yes.
I may say the wrong numbers, but as long as I pass and that's good, I really
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, I think you're great.
Sorry.
Okay. So now danger card.
Hey, dragon.
Hi, dragon.
Let's see. As escape scofflaws, getting out of lowlands the fastest way possible makes thematic sense. Well, we're wandering through the graveyard, so I don't know if that's getting out of here fast or not. But
There's lots of hiding spots in here, though, so it's fine.
oh, I said 7. Oh, my
that's
bad.
fine.
Thank you, Alper. Thank you.
That's fine.
I don't know what's
upside down.
going on
Oh, no, it's
anymore.
not.
I'm lost. The Holy
The
Order.
Holy Order. So that's blue.
Right here. So
Okay.
this town level is going to go down 1.
Okay.
And we are in indoor space, actually, the graveyards.
Okay. So,
that's the right number on the card, which is a 2.
yep.
So it's a 4 at the graveyards, a danger level. So we're for sure going to fight something or
Interesting.
encounter something.
Okay, so for this one, we need to draw an encounter card. Plus, for 2 characters, we need to draw
3
3
enemies?
enemies. All right, buckle in, everyone.
So we're
This
in
is
the
where things
lowlands.
get crazy.
So we're in the lowlands. So we draw a lowlands encounter. It doesn't say resolve immediately, so we're actually not even going to care about it, and we're going to just throw it off to the side,
Oh, yeah, I'll bring in the
and
dice
we'll
tray.
deal with it after the combat. Okay. Now we're going to draw our 3 lowlands monsters,
Oh, gosh.
and what we get? We got a gifted cultist. He's going after the highest strength character. I'm a 7.
I'm an 8. He's coming to me.
So, and he has an ability Necro, which we'll look up in a minute once we
Okay.
deal with whatever they're called, rival abilities or whatever. We found a sex dwarf, a human cult heretic, He's got an arrival ability or whatever it's called, rally. So we'll deal with that in a second, but he's going to go after the highest strength.
Which is me.
Okay. And then we found Pumpkinhead. This guy's going after the highest morale.
So my morale is 7, but during a fight, I have +1. So it's an 8.
I'm a 6. This is very bad.
Whoa,
You're getting
Nelly.
every enemy.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I've never seen this happen where like, usually it splits pretty even.
Their attacks are not strong and their healths are low.
But we're going to read their abilities. That probably means they're disgusting.
Yeah.
So let's check this rally first. Let's see what rally does. Rally says, if no icons are listed, draw a card from the monster deck and add it to the fight.
Oh no.
So we get a corpse golem, construct, and undead. He's a dimwit and endless. He goes after the lowest magic.
My magic is 6.
Mine's 7.
Oh no.
Wow. I think we need to run.
No, I think we're fine if we can kill. If I can defend, their attacks are not strong.
Okay. So
But we'll see.
So let's continue. So
that was the
all
rally.
the arrival.
Okay.
So let's see what Necro does for the gifted cultist. It says, each time you receive damage from this monster, you lose 1 XP. Wow, that sucks.
Okay.
Taunt says, I bet it forces you to hit this guy over other monsters.
Yep.
If you are targeted by this monster, you cannot target other monsters unless also targeting another monster with taunt.
Okay, so I have to hit him first.
So the sex dwarf, we have to beat him down as fast as possible, and we're only forced to beat him down. The horde heretic, so this guy gets like a bonus, I think, if he's with other heretics. It said horde, this monster has +1 attack while there are 1 or more monsters with the indicated class in a space. So are there any other heretics?
Yes.
So 2 other heretics. So this guy's attacking for 5, the pumpkin guy, as long as you have other heretics in the space. So you'll have to fight this guy first to get rid of him. Then you want to work on this guy to drop his attack down maybe, or just kill this guy after.
Yeah, I'll see what I'm thinking in a second.
So then also we have a dimwit and endless corpse golem. So dimwit is on the first round after this enemy enters a fight, his attack value is a D6.
Oh, so let's find out what that is. Hopefully it's
Here,
low.
we'll just give him this. Okay, we'll roll that when you're
okay.
in the fight.
Yep. If you're being targeted by a monster, roll to determine its attack at the start of your turn in the combat round. After its first round, the monster returns to its normal.
Oh, another super chat. Adam Morris
Thank you.
says, I have no idea what's going on, but I have never been more entertained. We'll scrub later.
Adam, you're awesome.
Do you mean you'll scrub your eyeballs out later, or you'll scrub through the video? I'm just kidding.
I'm so glad we can entertain you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
This game is nuts. It's nuts. It's a cool game, though, if you get past the art, Adam, for sure, and the graphic design. If you really like this stuff, and the world and the theme and the graphics of it and the colors, it's awesome. Like, it'll be your favorite game then, if you like adventure games that are like this. But yeah, super cool. All right.
So the last one is Endless, which says this monster cannot be reduced below 1 remaining HP while a witch, monster, or encounter is in the same space. Witch, I do not have a witch, so I think we're good. Is there a witch on the encounter? Encounter's human. No, we're good. So that doesn't take effect.
I think an encounter would only matter if it was like one of those ones that's in the fight also. Like this one we're not dealing with until after. So you literally ignore it, I think, until the combat's done. But if it was resolved immediately and we dealt with it and the encounter was like something in the fight, then that would matter, I think. But
okay, so the Endless doesn't matter, so that's good. Okay, now what's good is you actually get to attack first.
Yes.
So you could attack the pumpkin head because...
So I'm going to go into assault stance, which is going to roll my power die on offense.
Because taunt was only for me, I believe. If you are targeted by this monster, you cannot. So you can attack anyone you want. So you could attack this pumpkin guy.
Yep. So Adam and anyone else that's joined is like watching and wants to know what's going on. This is an adventure game. Quickly, it's an adventure game like Explore It, Runebound, Youth, those kind of games. We're adventuring around the map. We have, we're doing a standalone scenario, but it could be part of a campaign where we're trying to do different objectives, branching paths, that kind of stuff. And whatnot, we found the soothsayer's head. We've escaped from jail. We're being chased by the law. We're trying to take this magical soothsayer head, and we're trying to return it to its home in Stone Circle here on the other side of the board. And there's a constant threat of danger levels rising on the map, and enemies hunting us down. And there's different enemy decks for where you are on the map. There's danger cards you draw to see if you're going to get hunted down. and you choose how you travel, whether you're risky. In fighting, you choose whether you're offensive or guarding. We're rolling dice against stats. It's a standard adventure fantasy game, but with drug-induced 80s crazy art thrown all over it. That's basically what's going on. So standard stuff on the channel, a campaign adventure game. That's what's happening here. So yeah, just so you know.
Mike, you're funny. Oh, Mike, you're awesome.
It's not fantasy. With a smiley face. Okay, Alfred. Alfred, I know you're joking. This is. Oh, he says maybe sex fantasy. Now get out of here. Get out of here.
Maybe
with
this is
stuff.
your sex fantasy. I don't know.
We have swords, shields, arrows. There's goblins.
Yep.
And you know.
Yep.
And there's castles and you know that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is fantasy on drugs. All right.
You didn't say who you were attacking.
Oh, I have to attack the taunt guy.
No, you don't.
Oh, I don't.
I do. That's why I was saying.
Who do you want me to attack
The
then?
pumpkin.
Okay.
Because the pumpkin hits harder.
Pumpkinhead? All right,
Yeah.
I'm going after Pumpkinhead then. So I was testing against my agility, which, if my math is correct this time, I rolled an 8. Testing against my agility. So if it's 8 or less, I succeed. I can hit for now either my highest single die on my attack or use my power die to hit for it, but it's less than my 5. So I'm going to hit that guy for 5.
Yes, perfect.
And he has no armor?
No.
So he's dead?
He's dead.
So I get him as a trophy.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'll just put him over here, face down. We'll deal with him after. Boom.
Okay. So now myself, I will go into guard stance just in case. So we hit for, I got to roll this with my die to see what he's hitting for. Or do I just roll it separate? Maybe I roll
We'll roll it all together.
Okay.
Who cares?
So, okay. So I have to target the sex dwarf.
We also have our own dice kind of mixed in here. It comes with these little tiny, like 8 or 12 millimeter dice. We're just using like different dice mixed in, but the same colors apply. That's, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, he's hitting for 5. Okay, my agility here is 5 out of 8, so we're good. So I can block 3 damage that's incoming from all of these attacks.
Yep.
Hitting, I hit him. I check my agility, which is 8 and 8. We're good, so I can hit for 4
Yep.
here, which kills him.
Beautiful.
But he's going to hit me back, and then I can't do it. Okay.
So basically, you're subtracting 3 from every one of their attacks.
Yeah. So he hits for 4.
One damage,
so 1
fully blocked,
and 2 damage.
and 2 damage. So
I take
total
3 damage.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. That's not the worst, and he is dead. So I
put him
take
in your
him in my
trophy
trophy pile. And this only is for the first round, so we don't care about that going forward. Okay. And now back to you. So I almost am thinking, do you take out this guy or try to? This guy is 10 health, so getting one guy off the board is just good.
What's the necro again?
The necro, I don't remember.
Just want to make sure we didn't miss
It's if you take, I have to do something with it. Yeah, because if you take damage. Necro. Each time you receive 1 or more wounds from this monster, lose 1 XP.
You'll lose 1 XP.
You'll lose 1 XP, that's fine. Okay. Okay.
You guys are killing me.
I killed that sex dwarf.
Here we go. So I'm attacking the gifted cultist?
I think so, because you have a chance of taking it out. It's 4 health, or 5 health with no armor.
So it is weird. It is Rob's gaming table, and Rob didn't go after the cultist first, which is what I've been trained to do in games.
Sorry.
But I'm now going to try to kill the cultist, which is standard here on the channel in games we play. So I feel good about this.
Yes, this looks
All right,
good.
so I got 7, which is less than my agility. I hit for 5.
Yep, 5 is his health. No armor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We don't normally roll this lucky. I don't think I've failed on almost anything yet, but normally I would have been failing all over the place when I played yesterday for sure. But I get another one in my trophy pile. Go ahead.
Okay, that's so I'm going to stay in guard stance. He's hitting for 5, so hopefully I can block more than 5. Okay, so for defense here, 5, 6, 7, we're good. So I can block 5 that's coming in. Attacking is terrible here. I did, again, succeed on my attack, my agility. So I can either hit for, I can only hit for this. So I can hit him for 3. He has no armor. That's terrible, but hey. Okay, so I take no damage and I hit him for 3. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, I'm just assault stance. He's not re-engaging anyone, right? No, we haven't changed any of our stats or anything.
I can't even. This chat is hilarious.
I know. All right.
Oh, nice. Another good hit.
No, I failed. I rolled a 9
That's
against
fine.
8. So I actually whiff and don't hit. I could use luck to re-roll any of the dice.
No.
And I have 3 luck, but I don't want to waste it. I'm good.
No, we're good. Okay.
I think we got this under control.
I'm going to stay in guard.
You're only at 3 damage you've taken. I'm at 1, so.
Yeah. And we likely will rest soon because we can't force march until we rest. And you have some damage. I now have some damage. Okay, let's see. Okay, so for defense, I rolled a 5 out of 8. So I
take
can
1 damage.
I defend for 4, take 1. And then I hit
So you do 4
7.
damage.
I do 4 damage. Okay.
So he's at 7 out of 10?
Yep, so 3 more. So you might be able to take him out this turn.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I whiffed again.
That's
So
fine.
as I said about my luck, all of a sudden I mentioned it. The dice gods heard me and are now punishing me from being too cocky.
Okay. Staying in guard stance again. Hopefully I can block some of this attack. And I do not block the attack. Well, I can block, because I'm in guard, I can use this purple to block 1. So I still take 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And because we're going to rest, I don't think I'll roll
so
luck.
bad.
No, it's fine. This kills him.
So bad.
We're going to rest.
Yeah. Okay, anyways.
So then I hit him for 3, which is exactly what he needs. 3, 6, 9, or 3, 6, 9, 10. Yep. He's dead.
All right, so collect our XP and gold. So 2 XP and 2 gold for me.
So for XP, I get 3. 1, 2, 3. And for gold, I get 2.
And then I'm going to do a loot check against, I have 2 XP worth of enemies, so I need to get 2 or less on the die, and I can grab a loot, which could be not just cool weapons and armor and all that kind of stuff, and consumables. You can also find monsters and disease and stuff in the loot deck, which I'm not a fan of. When you rarely get loot, you finally get it, and then you're in another fight with a monster. That's the only real thing I have to complain about, because I'm a loot goblin, and that bugs me. But
We will reduce our danger level. Yes, yes.
yeah,
I don't know the steps, but yes. Oh, we're right.
I'll roll it. Oh, super chat from Adam again. Melon 2022 says, "I killed that sex dwarf. You've come a long way, lady."
I did kill it.
I
you
got
got
it.
it.
I got it.
Okay.
2 or less. Okay, so we draw our first loot.
Adam, thank you so much.
Thanks, Adam,
I'm
for the
going to just
support.
roll mine to see.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need to
yeah.
roll a 3 or less. And I failed. I'm going to use this as my loot die.
Yeah, so we do have some expansion cards added in here because I added in the character expansions or whatever. So this loot deck it's still huge in the normal game. This is probably like 30% bigger or something. So yeah. So my loot deck is bigger than your loot deck, just so you guys know. All right?
Anybody that's watching later, you need to turn the chat on because it's hilarious.
No, you don't need to turn the chat on. I don't need to lose subscribers and
They're saying it, not you.
yeah. So yeah, don't open the chat, you know.
The chat's hilarious.
Yeah. Ignore the chat.
Oh, I can't believe I failed that loot check.
All right, here we go. First loot. Other than our starting stuff that comes from the loot deck, so if you're not playing with a character, their weapons and items and stuff are actually in the loot deck. So even if I didn't play with this guy with the hunting bow, I technically could find the hunting bow later with some other character, which is neat. But stuff has requirements and that kind of thing. There's also loot you can only find in a town or when you're out and about that you'll just discard and draw different loot if you get that. I found war paint, which I believe is okay, but the requirement is performer or wild. Oh, I'm wild.
Oh, you are wild.
Oh, I'm wild. Hey. All right, so I can actually use this item. I could also sell it for half the gold rounded up at a town or settlement or whatever. It says the requirement, if I'm in bold stance at a town or out in the wild just resting, I could discard this card to become blessed and exalted, which just like bumps my stats, I think.
Yeah.
Huh.
Blessed is 1 morale.
I might do this when we rest, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 morale and blessed?
Yep.
What's exalted?
I don't know yet.
+1 magic.
Oh, I hadn't found it yet.
Okay. So cool. I got loot. Loot!
I did not, so here's my monsters. Sad day for me.
So discard all these monsters in the discard pile, which I've hidden under here. And again, that's where the higher level monsters are, that when we run into the deck or the doom track rises in this area, we will have to shuffle them in, and then we start having worse monsters in there.
So I will adjust our level, and then we will deal with this encounter. And
So it drops down by 1. We killed the monsters there, so
Yeah.
the danger level of the location drops down by 1. So it becomes a little less dangerous because we're clearing out stuff. Again, hide your kids, hide your wife. We're playing Dungeon Degenerates out here, okay?
yeah.
And we were warned at the start of the chat, before we even started the stream, BitJam was in here warning us there's kind of adult humor in here. So
Yeah.
drug references and, you know, sex slaves and that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind if you're watching this. I warned at the beginning of the video, but anyone who's joined us late live,
Things are,
yeah.
things are getting wild.
Okay.
So now we'll deal with this.
And that's not even counting the chat. So the chat also has a family warning on it.
The chat is worse than us in the game.
Yes, Kanji, yes. I will not repeat such things. Oh yeah, I can put that over here. So now we do the encounter, because it wasn't resolved immediately. So now we have an encounter to deal with. Suspicious local, an encounter in a human. A nervous traveler watches you intently from a distance. Can you trust him not to report you to the authorities? The party may approach, fight, or ignore the suspicious local. And I'm going to let you guys decide this one. So we're going to read it here, what it does, and I'll explain it. But while I'm doing that, I'll get the poll in the chat. So 1 second. What is it? Fight, approach, or ignore. Whoops. What the heck? Good. All right. I threw the poll in the chat. You guys can decide, but here's what's happening. The party may approach, fight, or ignore the suspicious local. If you approach, each adventurer in the party must attempt a morale, and you can see our stats here, a morale or strength test to reason with or intimidate the local. If the party scores more successes than failures, discard the card, and the party may bribe him with gold points or gold pieces equal to the bounty level. Bounty level is currently a 3. Here's this blue token on the board. Per adventurer to reduce the bounty level, so we got to spend 6 gold total. I have 6 to my name.
I have 5,
and we don't have to share that equally. One person can cover the whole cost or whatever. To reduce the bounty level, if you fail, you must fight. Or we could ignore him, roll a d6. If you roll equal to or less than the bounty level, so like a 50-50 chance, you could increase the bounty level or leave it the same. And then if we fight him, he has stats here. So he'll target the person with the most, or he'll engage the person with the lowest morale. He'll attack for 3. He has 5 health. His rewards are 1 experience, 1 gold, and he has a skirmish ability, which I forget what that one is.
If this monster is still alive at the end of the combat round and the danger level in the space is less than 6, increase the danger level. Increase the bounty level instead if the monster is from the law deck. Then remove all counters from this monster and shuffle it back into the deck.
So if we don't kill him in the first round for 5 HP, he would raise the bounty level?
Yeah.
And it says if the suspicious local escapes, increase the bounty level. Wow. Wow.
Interesting.
Brian Walbridge says, Rob, I don't think you should be streaming this until after 9 p.m.
Isn't it after 9 p.m. where you are?
No, it's 8 p.m. where Brian is.
Oh.
Sorry, Brian. Sorry.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. 5 hours in the future.
Oh.
Yeah, he's 5 hours in the future.
Oh, yeah, because it's not till time changes tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So I think the poll wants us to approach him.
I think that's what I would have suggested as well. We have the gold.
Yeah, 68% want us to approach. So we can choose morale or strength to either reason with or intimidate. But I just say we choose.
Or whatever your highest one is, obviously. We don't have to choose the same.
Are you sure?
Each adventure in the party must attempt.
So
yeah, you can choose different than me.
All right, so I am going to choose. My morale is a 6, and my strength is a 7. So I'm going to try to intimidate him. So I have to roll 7 or less.
you did
A 5, nice.
Okay, I'm gonna choose strength because my strength is 8.
So we need more successes than failures. So we literally need both of us to succeed, I think.
Got it.
Nice.
3. Yes, we succeed.
All right. So if the party scores more success than failures, discard this card, and the party may then bribe him with gold pieces equal to the bounty level per adventurer to reduce the bounty level. If you fail, you must fight.
I think we do it.
Yes.
So I'll spend 3 and you spend 3, or do we?
Sure.
1, 2.
So I go down to 3 gold from 6.
Down to 2.
So drop that bounty level down to 2.
Just need to grab a 2. Okay.
And then we discard this lowlands encounter.
Okay, that was good. That was good. That went well.
All right, new turn. How are we traveling?
I feel like we need to rest because I can't force march. So
We're just going to stay where we are and rest?
if we go into this road here, we're taking a 2. Ooh, that might be better.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a 3. I mean, 2 versus 3.
Still better.
Still better. Okay, so we're going to go in cautious.
Unless you want to just...
I can't rest in cautious. Oh, yeah, I can.
No, if we stay where we are, you can rest. It doesn't matter which stance you're in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I don't necessarily need to rest.
we can't force march.
I can't force march.
Oh, okay.
So we have to be cautious unless we want to rest.
Yeah, let's just...
So I'm going to stay in cautious, though.
Same. We'll do cautious.
Yeah. Okay.
So now first thing when you rest, we roll against our morale. But because of my fieldcraft ability, I can roll against my constitution. If you pass, you recover your full... you may... Yeah, I'll do constitution because that's what my ability does. But you would test against your morale.
Yes.
And you either, if you fail, you get half healed based on that stat. Or if you pass, you full heal based on that stat.
And I will also get to remove my status as well. 8 p.m. Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I think it goes in morale order is how you resolve all this stuff. But
so 7 or less. I got 4 or 5, so I'm good. So
you fully heal, or you heal the full 7 points of your morale.
So I go to 1, and I get to remove
Yep.
that token.
And I failed against my constitution.
Oh, but that's fine for you.
But I only have 1 damage, so I'm healing for 4, but I only need to heal for 1. And I have no stats to no conditions to clear off from my recovery.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else that we want to do in a rest.
We still draw danger. Yeah, we did cautious, so the only thing we could choose is to improve. I have 8 XP, so I literally can improve my fieldcraft. I can improve my fieldcraft for 6 XP and flip it over to my mastery, where I get an additional ability on it. You do not have to roll for stealth. You automatically pass your perception test when using stealth. I will do that. I will spend 6 XP and go down to 1 to upgrade my skill.
To upgrade mine is 10. I onyou have 9.
No upgrades for you. Oh yeah, and I forgot to do this. I gotta do this. I'm gonna discard this card and become blessed and exalted.
We don't have to be, you have to be bold.
No.
Oh, no?
No. We are not at a town, so you have to be bold and at a town, or you have to be resting like out and about.
Okay, thank you, sorry.
Which is fine. So we're doing this like fireplace rest thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it shows on the back of the book, but I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna discard this card. Unless you have to do all 3 things.
No, I think because it's separated.
Yeah,
I think you're
so.
right. Yeah. No,
Either way, we might be playing it wrong, but I don't care. We're just going to do it.
No, I think you are right.
Again, you'll get the idea of the game. That's really what we're here to do. But I'm trying to reduce the lookups in the rules too, as much as possible. But bless and exalted. And again, I have the wild, so like I have the requirement I can use it. That's the other thing. I wouldn't mind to be able to use this. I might want to sell it. I'm just going to find exalted. I don't know where those go.
I think they go into recovery, don't they?
So then when I heal, I lose them?
I think that's the point of that. Like you don't have them forever. I don't think.
Oh.
Right? You lose all your status tokens when you heal.
Oh, okay, okay. Is that how that works?
All
right, cool. We'll roll with that. All right, either way, I'm going to discard this loot, and it's gone. Okay, done.
Okay, and I'm not going to worry about mine. I think I'll just save. Once I get 1 more, I can upgrade my ability that I already have versus going to the deck. So
draw a danger card.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So are we on a space with an epic monster? No. So it's 6 danger, which is fine. You're going to reshuffle the deck. Nothing happens. We're safe.
Okay. So I reshuffle it with these.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, the new round, you want to switch to bold and try to boot it?
I do.
Okay, so we're going to boot it to Fishmonger Camp, which is just a 2 danger level. Oh, we got a new subscriber. Aranda John, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the channel.
Welcome.
Welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. Pull up a chair. Welcome. We got some cool stuff to show you and make your eyes burn.
Okay, so we will draw a danger card for Fishmonger Camp.
So our current space actually raises in danger level, which is a 2. So Fishmonger Camp actually becomes a 3. Then we check, are we in a metaphysical space? No. So it's 6. So it's higher than 3. We ignore it.
Awesome.
So we avoided fighting an epic monster there, which is nice. All right.
So I think we need to be in bold to travel across. Yep.
To do the anchor with the water underneath it?
Yes.
Which is which one?
Which is Lakeport travel.
So Lakeport travel to travel across from Fishmonger Camp to Dusk Falls at Tomb Lake. We need to be in bold. So we're going to just do that.
Okay.
Which is different from river travel, which would cost money. So traveling by lake, we need to be in bold. Okay, so the Witchwood is going to go up, which is up here. This danger level is going to go from a 4 to a 5.
Luckily, we didn't go that way.
We are not going through the Witchwood.
Luckily, you guys said no to that way. Okay.
And then the Doom track stuff, if we had the Hand of Doom on the board, which is a separate token that comes out when the Doom track starts rising after a danger level exceeds 6 at a location, we then would be moving this thing around and doing crazy stuff. And then it's a 4 check against our... we're checking Tomb Lake, which is a 3.
We're safe.
So we are safe again.
Okay. Good choices made by all.
All right. Now here's the question. Oh, I guess we only have one way to go is to the Black Tree, which is a 5.
Yeah, we're probably in trouble here, but I think
Should we boot it there too?
Yeah.
With the bold?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm down.
We're probably encountering something here for sure.
100%
it's a 5,
we
right?
are. Yeah, 100% we are.
Unless we draw
the
6.
law, right?
Oh yeah, there's no law
There's no
here.
law
No,
here.
but then you just check it normal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're not rolling for Constitution.
Oh, shoot. So sorry, we need a roll for...
No, I don't think the river one you do a roll.
No, you do not.
It's just this
one that we just did. Oh, the one that we're doing right now. Or did we do it on this one?
I don't know.
Because we healed here, right? Yes,
Okay.
we need to do one.
Yeah, sorry, we forgot to do the Constitution check, which I'm good here.
I am not good.
So then when we're here, you are now not able to force march. So we got to take it a little slower.
That's fine.
So I'm actually going to move cautiously then, or we should move cautiously. I'm going to flip your token.
There we go.
And then we're going to move cautiously to just go onto the path. We can't run fast to the black tree.
And while we're on the path, we're using this number.
Yeah,
right?
and then we could also sneak, and if it's a 3, we could change the card to a 4 if we pass a stealth test, which I automatically pass because of Fieldcraft. You would just have to test against your perception, and we could lower, like, temporarily increase the card level.
Sorry, I got the wrong token. I got detained.
It's fatigue, the one that says...
Here we go, on the other side.
Yep.
Just on the wrong side. Okay, danger card.
So Tower Island, which we know we're just near, becomes a 5 danger level.
Okay.
And then if we're on a law space, it would be the law coming after us. We're not, but it is still a 2, so there's no way we can get out of this, but it's only 1 monster.
We could do, because we're in cautious, can't we see if we can lower...
So again,
but even
if
so, it's
if a 2 is equal to 2, we'd still draw monsters, so it's no point.
So for 2, we're just drawing 1 monster.
All right. So we found a bog scrag, a filth, a vermin. It's pretty weak enemy. A drain will steal our health, and it heals up, I think. Every time it does damage to us, it does some healing. And I don't know what evade is, though. And it's going after the most wounded, which is you.
Evade is when you attack this monster with melee attack, if the attack roll results in doubles, your attack misses regardless of the total. So if you roll 2 of the same number on a die. Okay. But you get to hit it first, and it has 3 health. You can probably just wipe this guy right out.
I'm going assault stance.
Yeah.
9. Yeah, I whiff.
Good roll, but yeah.
I whiff. Unless I spend a luck to like roll something.
I don't think it's worth it for him.
No.
Because hopefully I can.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna go in guard as well. He only hits for 3, so I don't know what the heck that is. Okay, so don't block.
You can guard. Then you can use that 6 to block him.
I can use a 6 to. Okay, so I can use a 6 to block him. I also for each 6
counter. Yeah.
Yeah, for each 6 you roll on a power die, inflict 1 piercing damage on a monster targeting you without range. So just 1 gets through, and then my agility obviously is a success, so I deal 4 damage. So we are done.
So take your XP and your gold, and then roll for your loot check.
XP.
And we drop the danger level down 1.
Yeah.
Down to 2 in Tomb Lake.
So I'm trying to get 1 or less. I got a 4, so no loot for me.
Cool. So do you want to stay in cautious since we're just going to move adjacent?
Yeah, I can't force march. So.
Or do you want to stay where we are to rest and get rid of the force march?
I don't want you to rest and lose that, and we're so close.
Yeah. Okay.
So
just stay in cautious. We're going to move 1.
Yeah.
Draw a card.
Draw a card. That's me. Sorry. Oh, I think we're good here.
The Goblin Fortress, which is this place up here, this giant castle place. Which is going to go to a 6 danger level. Uh-oh.
Well, we're looking at the law.
Yeah, we're not in the law space. It's higher than our number. Our number is 5. So we actually evade this epic monster and little monster that we would have drawn. So we're good.
Wonderful.
All right. Keep traveling cautious since we can't. Oh, it's a path anyway. We couldn't force march here.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, sorry guys. I already explained that earlier, that the brown is a path. So unless it's explored previously, or we've explored it, then you're able to do force marches through paths. The brown are paths. The blue or whatever with the purple border are roads. So we could not have force marched anyway there. But this one we did, and we should have tested. So anyways. All right, so we're going to go along the path. Mm-hmm. Encounter? Or danger?
Fishmonger Camp, which was somewhere right here.
So flip it over, it goes to a 4.
Okay. And then we're not, are we in a law space? No, we're on a path. So
we're just checking the
versus 1.
So it's a regular monster, and it will be because 1 is less than the 2 danger here at this place down here on the bottom. So we will pull.
Yeah, I think it's just 1.
One monster.
Yep, 1 monster.
1 monster from the wetlands deck. Because we're in the wetlands. And it is. Oh, it's just a good old Scroglin Hunter, a filth and a fishoid. Goes after the highest agility, which
8.
We're tied, so we can choose. It attacks for 4. It has pursue if we're in an outdoor space, which we are.
Okay.
So it'll pursue us.
So we cannot escape from the fight.
Okay, and then it has slime, so if it does damage to us, it will slime us, which reduces our agility and makes us weaker defensively. It has 0 armor and 5 health.
So because we're tied, we can choose, and I'm almost suggesting to say myself, so you can hit him before he even attacks.
You just want the XP and the gold, don't you? Hey, get out of here, greedy girl.
You get to attack first. So you could potentially take him out before he even goes.
Yeah, but I've been failing on all my attack rolls lately.
Meaning that 1 is coming, that you will succeed.
Oh, okay.
He only has 5 health, so you just need to hit him for 5.
Oh, just hit him. So I have to pass on my agility and hit him for 5.
Unless you want him.
No,
do you want him?
I'm just joking. No,
You can have him if you want him.
If I kill him, I still get the loot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just
thinking, because you get to go first. You got him.
So I rolled an 8, which matched my agility. I choose the highest, which is a 5,
and
I kill him. I told you I'd kill him.
I told you got him.
+1 gold, +1 XP.
That's why I wanted you to do it, so that it was before he even got to go.
And then I'm going to do a loot check. 2 is, I needed a 1, so it's like, it wasn't likely going to happen anyway.
Okay.
Dead.
Nice. We probably could leave the dice tray there because we're not going up there.
Yeah, okay. Dice tray stays up there, but I just don't know if you can reach it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I can go like this.
All right, let's travel cautiously again.
Yes, sounds good.
There was no encounter on there, that one, right?
No.
Okay. So we've now reached the stone circle. So we just have to rest here, which we can't do till our next map encounter, whatever map phase, whatever. So now we're doing encounter phase, or danger phase. You feel a chill run down your spine. So it's a 1.
So it's happening.
It's
we're
at a 2.
But we're safe.
Oh, yeah, it's a town location, so we're safe.
We're safe.
So we just ignore the card.
And reshuffle the danger deck. Okay.
Yep. Like we don't.
I still do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, decrease the danger level. Yes, where did we just
down
fight?
here, right?
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Alper. Yeah, sorry, we decreased the danger level here. Down here. Probably move. Where's the mouse?
Shomar, hello. Says these colors are wild. They are a little wild.
Hey, buddy. No. Shamara, stop pressing with the contrast and the brightness and stuff buttons on your monitor. It's not broken, I promise. I promise it's not broken. Or your phone. Quit playing with your phone settings thinking you're, get off the phone, stop calling in for a warranty replacement on your screen. It's not broken.
Nothing is broken.
It's not broken. All right.
The fight was on the path.
The fight was on the path, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been Tomb Lake, right? Okay, so now we're at the stone circle. We're in a new round. We're going to rest.
And we need to be in bowl. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter, right? For the
no, it's just
mission,
a rest.
It doesn't matter.
So, mission book. We've reached our objective.
I guess we have to recover first, which I do have health. I need to see it.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
As our first action.
I'm already full health, so I'm good.
Okay, I'm good. So I just go down to 1.
And then I would lose these, I guess.
Okay.
So it's all good.
Oh, yeah, and I lose this.
Whatever. Which would matter if we're playing a campaign, because things stay and they continue and the world keeps changing. But we're just playing standalone, so let's see what happens here. So we took it to stone circle. So we completed our objective. So I believe we get our rewards. Each adventurer gains 1 luck. Again, this would matter more if we were actually continuing on to a future scenario. Remove all counters that were placed during the setup and reduce the bounty level. So you kind of reset the board a little bit going forward. And it says you may deliver the soothsayer's head to the jailer's cousin. No, we didn't do that. If you can use the soothsayer's head. Oh, I forgot to read this stuff. Oh, right now. Sorry. This is a reward. Yeah. Well, let's not worry about that. If you deliver the soothsayer's head to the village elders at Gutfish Ford. No, we didn't do that. If you can use the soothsayer's head, if you meet its requirements, which I do, you may deliver him to his hometown at the stone circle. If you do, discard the soothsayer's head, and each adventurer in the party gains a D3 of XP, which is 3x. Sorry, that's 2 rounded up. No, we just roll 1. And then this is for the party.
Oh, sorry.
So you do a D3 of XP, which just means roll a D6 and have it rounded up.
So we get 3?
Yeah, we would get some XP, which again doesn't really matter because we're playing standalone game. But I want to show this off for the campaign, just to show you how it kind of goes. As the soothsayer blesses you with knowledge in thanks for your good deed. So now this is a cool part for you guys know we love playing campaign games on the channel, and that's where this game really shines is in campaign mode, which we're not doing today. Just so you guys know, we may do it in the future if it wins a poll or something from our supporters, and our producers vote on it and stuff like that, or we just decide to play it. It's a good time, or we're looking for another campaign game to play. But for now, that's that. But I just want to show you guys, there's these mission paths. So based on if we had the fungal parasite, certain things would happen and we'd have chances to go to different missions. But we delivered the head, and we delivered it to the stone circle. So it says, a soothsayer thanks you for your efforts and whispers secrets about a wondrous palace temple, hidden deep in the mountains of the mouth. Do you dare follow the dubious direction of this delirious dead man? Continue to visions at the peak, page 4. Or if you choose to ignore the rotting fool, establish a base, page 5, here in the swamp. Or we could have ran and hide and didn't do any of that stuff. So based on what we did in the scenario and what choices we make, we then would be going on to different, establish a base and play a whole different scenario with different rules, different objectives, different setup and that kind of stuff. And then, or we could have gone to visions at the peak, which is its own scenario with its own epic monster boss and all this kind of stuff. And again, if you pass me the rule book, if we were playing a campaign and we were done now, we didn't want to keep going. Again, this has the whole, you print out these sheets or you just write in here and you could save the status of the game, what's going on the map, where you are, and continue it later. Or you can just leave it out on the table. But again, the chat and the people who've played this game before and how Doc has recommended to us, the campaign, the writing, the silliness of this game is super cool. Playing through a campaign, it's supposedly what was it, 5 to 6 hours or 5 to 6 sessions or something like that. But there's way more missions than that. So when you play through and make decisions or choices and stuff, or different things happen, you'll actually travel down different paths and do different missions and things. And what I was reading in someone's review was talking about how you could kind of work for different factions in the game and stuff and choose different paths that way.
That's cool.
Which is neat. But we're not going to get into that spoilery stuff here today. We just want to show how the game kind of kicks off, how the combat works, the adventuring works. try to show you not judging a book by a cover. If you love this art and the theme and the silliness and the goofy stuff in here, it's a great adventure game, medium to heavyweight adventure game. A lot going on, a lot of rules, a lot of rule book lookups, reference sheets. It's a fun game. And I'll be honest, when I first got it and was looking at it, reading it, like I told you guys, I struggled with the game, struggled to getting it to the table. But once we played it, even Mel was like, didn't want to play with me, to be honest. She wasn't really feeling it. But once we played it, and she'll talk more about it too, you could tell she was like, all right, this is fun just like our other games. So Doc was correct, knowing we would like this game based on other games. And like I said, if you've played Hexplore It or you watch our Hexplore It series, this is right in that category of Hexplore It. You know, and it has like that kind of indie feel. You know, the indie feel, like it was actually a properly Kickstarted campaign, not a giant publisher just using it as a pre-order system. This was obviously like a small passion project, you know, raising Kickstarter funds, has a hardcore fan base, making a fun, cool game. Yes, could use some more streamlining. Yes, could use better components. Yes, could use some more playtesting and better rulebook and reference sheets and stuff. But once you get past all that, it's a really fun game. I want to explore more in it, but we're going to put it on the shelf for now and maybe bring it out later. So yeah, hit that like button again if you want to help other people find these videos. Leave comments down below for those watching. I'm curious what your thoughts are. But yeah, we'll now hang out with the chat. We'll give our thoughts on the game in general. But yeah. And now your eyes are bleeding because I have zoomed in on the box right here. Edward, perfect. Edward says it grows on you like a fluorescent fungus. Agreed.
Agreed.
So like I said, when he got this game from Doc, this full disclosure, this wasn't sent to us from the publisher. All I paid was like, you know, 50 or 60 bucks for import customs fees, which is common for stuff that comes from the US to Canada when people send us board games. So I do have some money into it, but again, Doc paid for this and gave us a bundle with like expansions and all this cool stuff. So we were playing with some of the expansion content, but even the base game, I played with just the base game. There is lots of monster variability, lots of encounter variability. You will not see everything on a single playthrough. It is meant to be a campaign game, okay? So you will play more than what's here. You'll get your money's worth, I feel, assuming you can get through, you know, not judging the book by its cover, and you're fine with the art, you like the theme. But if the theme and the jokes and the, you know, the potty humor and the sex and drug references and the, you know, stoned, you know, heavy metal art from the 80s doesn't do it for you, there are thousands of other games out there that do the same kind of adventuring stuff and maybe are a little higher production value, maybe a little more epic, maybe have, you know, objectively higher quality art and maybe more art that's more pleasing to you. But some people really love this art. I like it. It reminds me of growing up in the 80s as a kid, the wacky stuff, you know, like, you know, anyone who knows Boglins, Garbage Pail Kids, Ninja Turtle cartoons, like these crazy things like of the 80s, Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yeah, this is just psycho crazy stuff, or, you know, the art on skateboards back in the day. And some people are mentioning like the heavy metal art and stuff like that. It's like, if you like that stuff, this is pretty cool. It's designed from a mind of that nature. So
there's also some nostalgia here, I think, for people.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah,
and it does feel like kind of a little bit of a dated kind of adventure game. You know, you're doing the dice checks. It's a little D&D feel to it, kind of that kind of stuff. Again, I've never really played D&D, but I keep reading that in every review for this game. And it was explained how that works. But to me, it feels very much like Hexplore It. Exact same kind of like roaming around a map, drawing random cards, seeing encounters, rolling dice for checks, trying to survive and not die. You know, like it's a survival adventure game is what's here.
Yeah, you're picking even, are you moving cautiously, or how are you moving, and how are you going to attack? Yeah.
But yeah, so again, at first it was a struggle to get through this game. I was getting frustrated with the rules, getting frustrated with the systems, and didn't really know if I wanted to play it on the channel. And pulled it out a few months later with a clean, fresh eyes, tried it again. Mel wasn't really interested to learn it with me. She was busy with other things, so I was like, no, I don't want to play this solo. So I put it back on the shelf last October. And then about 2 months ago, I was like, it's in the pile. And I have a bunch of games that people have sent us, publishers sent us, ones we bought, and they're in a pile. And I kind of pick based on the players, what I feel like, and that's what I bring to the channel. So this game was sitting in a smaller pile of games, kind of bubbled to the top. And I decided to start learning it and getting it back on the table like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And then it was funny because like a week and a half ago or so, or 2 weeks ago, I put up a poll of what we should play on our weekly 3-player nights with Kyle on Tuesdays. And this game wasn't on that poll. I don't think I would want to try to teach this game to Kyle. It's kind of a mess. But I knew Mel would understand it because we played these type of games. So I didn't put this in the poll, but Doc came out of the woodwork to put on the poll a comment saying, "Hey, play Dungeon Degenerates." And it's like, I wanted to surprise them and be like, all right, we're finally getting this to the channel. So I was like, yes, we're playing it soon. I was already at that time,
we were already talking about it.
Yeah,
when we would fit it in.
It was already planned, like, you know, a couple weeks in the future from that point to actually start learning it. I just had to get through the whole Hexplore campaign to then put this one in the pile. That one actually trumped it, you know. No offense, but Hexplore I is more my type of game and more my type of art. But they're both very comparable, I think. Both very passionate, indie kind of projects. Obviously, Hexplore is much more successful because it hits more of a main audience, mainstreamish, hardcore board gamer audience.
Doc is saying that Doc is still surprised. Didn't think we'd actually play it. Like, sent it over, but not thinking we would actually play it.
I know it was, but Doc, I told you, man. Like, reading the like write up of what the game was. If I didn't look at the game and I was just reading the sales sheet, you know, campaign game, fantasy theme, you know, roll and dice, dungeon crawler, giant loot deck, random encounters, storytelling, like. That's like the main games.
Like
I love those games. Those are what I love playing through on the channel. I love creating series of playthroughs, going through these kind of games. I love that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But then you go to a convention, you see it on the table, or you see it in a video, or you see it on their website, or you see some idiots playing it on YouTube. Yeah, you're just like, whoa. And some people will just get more than the people who will buy it and love it. More of the people will get turned off and run away based on the aesthetic. Mm-hmm. It's a very niche thing. But if you don't mind it, or you think it's really cool or different, or you want something unique in your collection, something that stands out on your shelf, they did a good job at being eye-catching on a convention table at Board Game Night at a game store, on the shelf at your local friendly game store. They hit the money on the head. You are going to see this game, you're going to go, what the hell is that? And without paying for marketing, they are going to have you picking up this game or looking for this game or wondering what it is, or going up to a table at a convention going, what are they playing? You're
going to take a second look either way, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to look and go,
Yeah. After that, you may run away and be like, whatever. But again.
But it's going to stop you in your tracks.
But I wanted to fully judge it after I actually played it. So even though I was getting frustrated setting it up, or frustrated trying to get Mel to play with me, or trying to figure out how to stream this, or even I questioned, is this even for my audience? Should I even show this to them? Like, why would they care? Like, this isn't, you know, but
I do think this will be for some of our audience, though.
Absolutely. They're all in here having a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a ton of people who are excited for this, messaging me as soon as I scheduled it.
Yeah.
People are like, man, I can't believe you're playing this game. This is like my favorite game. This is a gem in the rough. Like, this is like a rare find. Like, it's the most unique thing in my collection, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, okay, I feel a little bit better about scheduling it. But I waffled between like, not wanting to put it on the channel, getting frustrated with it, but then like, again, I go back and read Doc's message about, remember, it's a small studio, first time game. They didn't like do millions of dollars on Kickstarter. It's a passion project, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I get that feel. I'll give it a shot. But once I played it once, I was like, okay. I went back and read the rules and I was like, all right, this is my kind of game. And then I'm like, Mel, you need to play it. And you could tell she was like, I'm like, pulling her arm to play. But once she played it last night and I got her to play it, we went through it, you could see it. And Mel will explain her experience with it, and her thoughts on it.
So for me, I guess I don't have the nostalgia to the theme. Mm-hmm. Right, I did grow up in the 80s, yes, but
the art style,
like
the inspiration.
Yeah,
it's
none
not
of
so
that.
Much a theme. It's like
the inspiration. Like, none of it appeals to me. I'm kind of just like, sure, take it or leave it. Now, I will play games with theme and art I don't love. That's not a problem. But this one, I was just kind of like, okay, I guess I hadn't read the sales pitch of the game.
Yeah.
I just kind of looked at it and was like, oh, okay, sure. And, set it all on the table. You can't really see what you're going to get into. I'm just like...
Oh, you see what you
can
get into.
see, but you can't see this is a cool campaign. I'll tell you about some things I like about the game, too. But you can't see that just from looking at the components on the table.
Yeah.
You have to, read that sales pitch. And I originally read the rule book before Rob had even read it. And I kind of looked at him and said, there's a really cool game in this book. Like, as I'm reading through, yes, I need to read it a couple times to get all of it into my head, but there's a cool game here. I really am interested. Yeah. So then we planned it and figured it all out. So I can get past the art. The art is not bad. The art is unique, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad at all.
It's different.
It's different,
It's
and that's why I
different.
say my word for it would be it's unique. It's definitely going to make you stop and second look at it and go,
Well, it's a
interesting.
subjective thing, right? So some
Exactly.
people, like I said, if you can get past the art or you love the art, it's fine.
It's fine, exactly.
But if you hate it, just go run. Like,
and I can
it
play
doesn't
a
go
game,
away.
I can play a game where I'm not excited by the art. Now, I may not pick it if I was given the option of maybe 2 or 3 games that I love the art, I love the theme and everything, and then this was in the mix. I may gravitate to the other ones. But after playing this game, I am very interested in playing through a campaign of it and seeing where it goes and seeing how it progresses, because some of the things I like about this game, one of them is I love that the danger and the town levels are changing throughout different areas of the map, and that is going to affect your campaign playthrough. I love that. I think that's so cool. I also really like the way you get the statuses on your tokens. We didn't really experience it too much. I think we really got the fatigued one the most, but you I guess you got the bonus ones.
Yeah,
but you didn't
we
really
normally
see
get more of
how
them.
the negative statuses change your
Yeah. Like,
change your stat abilities, and then you could even have monsters swapping in combat on who they're actually attacking round by round.
which Mel saw last night in her first playthrough.
Yeah.
We were getting slimed and poisoned,
Yeah.
and monsters were jumping between us in the fight, and it
was
became
so
way more
cool.
crazy.
Yeah.
And again, we haven't seen epic monsters. You guys didn't see
Yeah,
epic
I still
loot.
haven't seen epic monsters. Yeah.
You didn't see monsters jump at the loot deck at us.
Which I did yesterday, which was so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm like, I think I had to roll like a 1
Yeah.
even to get it. I rolled that 1. I was like, yes, let's draw my loot card. And it was a monster. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I knew it could happen, but I don't know the odds of it happening based on what's in the deck. So, and then I was trying to think of what I was going to say something else too. The skills. I really like the skills that you can get throughout the encounter. And when we played yesterday, I had an additional skill because I had more XP based on monsters we were killing. I felt like we had less monsters in this one than we did last night, which I guess it just depends on the route that you're traveling. So I definitely think that there is a very good game, like a solid game within the art. So if you can, like you said, if you can get past it, there's a good game here. It's fun. It's interesting. The story is fun. Like you said, we giggle every time we play it, which is fun. So yeah, I definitely like it a lot.
Yeah.
So thank you, Doc.
Yeah, Doc, thanks again for the
Yeah.
game. Like, yeah.
I can see why
Yeah.
you would think this would fit our style, and it does.
Yeah, at first I was like, what the hell did this guy send us?
Yeah, when I saw the box, I was like, what the heck is this?
And then I started looking for Doc's name in the credits. Then when I see Doc like really promoting it and hyping up the game out there on other channels and in forums and stuff, I was like, okay, does he like work for them, or like what's the deal here? Like, or does he just love the game that much? And yeah, so he just loves it, and yeah, we appreciate it.
Bob, funny that Bob says, we understand, Mel, you were too young to be aware of 80s art style. I was definitely an 80s child.
Yeah, you know 80s art style. So what cartoons did you like? Like My Little Pony and She-Ra?
like-
Like what were you watching? Do you remember?
Well, it was
Care
all
Bears?
it was all of those. It was like, yeah. It was all like the
Did you
girly
have
cartoons.
Cabbage Patch Kids?
I think I did. Now, here's the other thing, is I did grow up with 3 brothers that are all younger than me, and not by much. Like my one brother's only like I think 13 or 14 months younger than me. So it was dominated by boy toys. So it was like the
cartoons on and-
Transformers and
Yes.
all the ones that you talk about. Like I've seen them
Transformers,
all.
G.I. Joe, yes.
Yeah.
He-Man,
Yeah.
Thundercats.
All of
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Like so it was rare for me to get to, because I don't
The
remember.
Smurfs.
Yeah, the Smurfs. It was
Well,
like
then if you like the Smurfs, I feel some Smurf vibes in this game for sure.
I mean, I watched the Smurfs. I don't know how much I liked it. I don't know. So, yeah, and then like the heavy metal and all of that people are saying as well. That wasn't my thing either. So, it's just not something I would gravitate to. And like you even brought up like Pee Wee Herman. Like if they watch Pee Wee Herman, I'm like, oh my god. And I know people are like, oh, don't say that, but it's for me. I'm like,
I got a hold of Pee-wee's Playhouse seasons when my daughter was young, around the same age I was when I was watching Pee-wee. Maybe she's a bit younger. And yeah, I definitely watched those shows with her again when I was older. And man, it is like out there, super funny. I love that humor. Paul Rubens or whatever, great comedian, funny dude. But yeah,
but not for me. He's not
not
my
for
style.
Mel. Mel was like rolling her eyes, walking
I'm like,
away.
please, do we have to watch this?
And I was warping my daughter's mind to be crazy like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doc went to school with Paul Rubens? No way.
No way. Wow.
He is like, yeah, I know he had like that little mix up with, you know, the thing that happened that went to the media with him. But overall, like that dude, like yeah, Sarasota High, that's cool, Doc.
That's cool.
When I looked up to him, like his humor, the show, the stuff that he comes out with out of his mind, and like the movies, like Big Top Pee-wee and Pee-wee's Big Adventure or whatever, were like two movies that like shaped me as a kid. Like I love those. Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't for me. So I mean,
But yeah.
the art and everything just, yeah, it just doesn't gravitate, or I don't gravitate to it. But the game itself, I can look past it. And I think, to be honest, once you start playing and you get into the game, it kind of, you don't even really realize it. Yeah, at first when you look at it, you're like, whoa, that's blinding, right? But then give it a little bit, and as you're playing, you're like, you don't even notice. It's all colors after that. For me, anyways.
Yeah, it has that first like impact, like where it's like, whoa, but then you start playing, you're like, okay, that's kind of fun and clever and different.
And then you're just kind of into it. And then this is a game that we got into, right? Where you're like, oh, it's this monster. And obviously this monster's coming out of the water because it's a fish. And like, yeah, it made a lot of sense. Yeah.
James says, my friend directed Pee-wee's Playhouse. Man,
oh, wow.
I freaking had all the Pee-wee's toys too. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yes. Ninja.
Yeah, we watched that.
And Ninja, that's what I'm saying. This game reminds me, I was talking about it earlier, the cards, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon, and then like the collectible trading cards, like remind me, give me that vibe in this game for some reason. I don't know. I remember those cards being like bright colors and everything. It reminds me of the quality of these cards too. I used to collect those when I was a kid on the playground. Oh man, I love Ninja Turtles, man. Yeah, all that stuff. But yeah, Pee-wee's Playhouse, looking back, like I feel kind of weird that I was playing with like Pee-wee and Cherry and Genie and had the house and everything. Yeah, it was a little different. But amongst my Transformers, my He-Man guys, my G.I. Joe toys.
Yeah,
it was a little weird now that I look back at it, but like, yeah, it was so different and so cool, and like really was popular at my school when we were kids, and we were all like quoting it and being silly, and the teachers getting mad because we're just being crazy and zany. But like, yeah, I think that's why I'm a little like cuckoo, because that's the kind of stuff I loved. But
so Mel is saying, I've heard from a few people that the rule book is quite tough to understand in places.
Yes.
What's your opinion? Yes, it is tough.
So
and
Mel,
like I said,
I went through that at the beginning. There is a link down below to the files section over on BGG. There's a lot of passionate fans for this game that have rewritten the rules, made reference sheets, made reference cards, print some of those out, print out the maps. People have maps showing you how the map is all connected properly. That is not so easy to tell on the board. The rule book is not bad. It's all there. It's just so many rules that you're constantly looking things up. But there are reference sheets in the game. There's references on the back of the book. Go find some of the fan-made reference stuff, and you will look in the rule book less. It didn't click for me, and I wasn't really enjoying myself until I found those fan-made references, printed them off, laminated them, and then I just used those, and I followed them along. And then when I was relearning the game after a week later, when I was refreshing myself yesterday before teaching Mel, there is somebody's like 6-page version of the rules on Board Game Geek that I just read through that, and the way they clean it up and write it, it just made, some of it's the same, but it just made more sense, and it was easier for me to understand. But you will look up rules, you will play this a bunch, but if you're playing this as a campaign, you're going to spend many hours playing it, and it's just going to start making sense. You'll start looking up rules less and less. Like I played today with barely looking up anything. Mel looked up a couple things.
Yeah.
Compared to my first time learning it, my second time learning it, my third time relearning it, playing it, I was definitely looking up more rules back then for sure. But
for me, I think the rule book is not bad. For me, it's remembering the if this then that's that are in the book. So if you're in this place, you do this. But if it's a town, you do this. So it's all of those little things for me that were a little bit more. You have to do them a couple times until they become second nature. But the rule book itself is not bad, and the reference sheets, like you said, are definitely very, very handy and helpful. So
I think the rule book is better than Too Many Bones' original rule book. Matt's asking, but they're both similar, like a similar experience as I had as trying to figure out the game, playing through it, stumbling, looking up rules, making mistakes. It wasn't until I like actually watched videos or played it and reread 100 times before I got Too Many Bones or Cloudspire or Hexplore It or what was the other one I was compared this to struggling? Oh, Sword and Sorcery. It's like that kind of book, just full of rules, not organized well. There are just tons of rules everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're only going to see so many of them on a playthrough. So some of them will stick. And then you play through again. Now you're drawing cards and seeing things and keywords they haven't seen before. And now all of a sudden you're getting the law show up and you're like, oh, I actually want to bribe them now. Now I got to look up bribing. What's that do? Or, well, now we actually hit the Doom track. Let's go find out how the Doom track works. Or, well, we found an encounter that pulls a void gate on the board. Well, let's go read about void gates. We haven't seen that in the, yet in the game. So there's that kind of thing that you'll see. But again, you got to want to play this game more than once. You got to want to spend the time in it. And it'll take some time to learn it and get it right. That's for sure. But again, it's like a 3.56 complexity. Yeah. And yeah, it's not the worst rule book I've read, that's for sure. No. It's actually pretty decent.
It's laid out nicely.
Yeah, it's like a fine rule book.
Yeah.
And it has good reference sheets. It's just you're constantly looking up things because those reference sheets don't fit all the craziness in the game.
Yeah. And one of the things is I can't remember all of the abilities. And I just say to myself, I'm never going to, so I'll just look them up. It's fine.
Yeah. Agreed, Matt. Agreed. Yeah, Too Many Bones definitely has a lousy rule book, even though it's a great game. 100% agree.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Yeah, this is one of those games. If you can get through the rules and spend the time and get into the system, like it's a great game. Is in here. Yeah. I do believe so. I do believe so. But that's my personal opinion. Again, it's not for everybody.
And everybody learns differently, right? So everyone's going to look at a rule book differently.
Yeah, you guys know what I like. If you've been following the channel, you guys see the games I like. You know this. Like, yeah, the doc did a good job here, I think. And yeah, Keith says Rob can now easily identify his 50+ audience. Yeah. All the ones who are like, I love this game, it's awesome. Oh, I watched this when I was a kid. Yeah. Like, yep, no problem. It's all good. I ain't hating over here. I'm just glad people are playing games. I don't care how old you are. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay, Doc done good. Cool.
Yeah, you did good, Doc. This is a fun game. Definitely.
So now when we go to play I don't know when we're going to play it, but Doc sent us another game, Hunters AD, or had the publisher send us it. I'm not sure.
He called it surprise game in the chat, so maybe.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's fine. I think I already said what it was.
I think we said it in the Discord, but not out live.
I don't normally like to talk about games that we have that we're not for sure going to play on the channel, but I have read a bit of the Hunters AD 2044. Is that the number? Or 2440 or something. I forget what it is.
2044 sounds right.
But Doc, I think, I don't know if you gifted us that one or you had the publisher send us that one.
Oh, yeah. So.
Oh, 2114.
2114, yeah.
Anyways.
Yes, that has arrived.
Yeah, so we'll definitely give that one, I think, a shot on the channel to play it. I don't know if we'll go campaign on that one either, but yeah, Mel still has to paint that one and stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to use the speed paints to paint that up. Nice, yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, we'll check that one out too. But yeah, thanks again, Doc. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Doc, I see why you thought we would like this game.
So
it definitely fits.
It better work with Hunters. Hopefully. Oh, you asked the publisher to send that one. Okay.
Okay.
Which that's not going to change how I rip on that game or we love that game or whatever. We'll see. But so yeah. So far he's 1 for 1. We'll see what happens. It does look up our alley.
Yeah, that's it does.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
That one, just looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna like this game.
That Doc, actually, that one looked more up our alley. I would have actually played that one on the channel way before this one, if it didn't have a box full of minis. That just so happened Mel now paints miniatures, and so now I put it on hold until she paints it.
Yeah.
But if Hunters didn't have miniatures to paint, I would have already played that game like 6 months ago or whenever it came, or 5 or whatever it was. I would have already played that game. It definitely looks really cool. But I haven't played it yet to know for sure, but I have read most of the rule book, and it seems pretty cool.
Oh, Elaine just got it, and Elaine's going to use the speed paints, your new speed paints, right?
Yeah,
to paint it up.
Mel might paint some of it live on the channel.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Once she gets to that game.
Yeah.
So. But yeah.
And then Bob says, Hunters AD 2114 is awesome. Get it played, Rob.
No, I'm not in a rush. All these games are awesome. It doesn't matter. Like, here's the thing. This game we're playing today is 5 years old. It's had like 6 Kickstarters trying to resell the game over and over again. Didn't change that it's a cool game or not a cool game. This is the thing with the whole Kickstarter nowadays. Everyone's on the next game, the FOMO, the whatever. Oh my God, I got this game. Rob, you need to play it. Play this game now. And I say, screw you, man. I'll play this game when I want to play it, because the longer I wait to play a game doesn't change how, it doesn't going to make the game worse. What it does usually is make the game better by either a new printing coming out, errata, fan-made references, more answers in the rules forums from the designer correcting things, So I technically play a better version of the game if I wait longer, usually. Even if I'm playing an older copy, it still doesn't change whether it's like going to be a great game or not. So like, I don't give into the pressure of trying to play the latest and greatest. I need to play this new game now. And you guys know that if you're here on this channel, I don't do that. So I try sometimes, if I get a game and I'm so excited, like Frosthaven, for example, I've been trying to schedule my year around it for 2 years. When that game shows up, I'm jumping into that game right away. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And I love Gloomhaven. So
even like Descent for me, like I was so excited. I couldn't wait. I said to him, we're dropping everything because I want to play this so bad. So things like that, we will drop.
Bob says, no, screw you, man. No. So no, I'm not giving in. I'm not going to be pressured. Screw you, Bob. No, I'm just joking.
But we will play it because I want to play it. Yeah.
Don't tell me to hurry up and play anything.
Now he's going to go slower, Bob. Thanks.
Yeah. The only time I play stuff like timed is if a publisher asks me way in advance, I have a game coming to Kickstarter. Check it out. And if I check it out and it looks interesting and I want to play it on my channel and I actually say yes, which is rare, I will then say, you get it to me and I'll play it when you want me to play it to time it with your Kickstarter, but no guarantees. And yeah, that's how it works usually. That's the only time where I care to like play something timed. And then obviously around like Halloween time, I love playing horror games and I want to play them and stuff like that. But most of the time I just play games when I feel like I want to play them, when Mel's done painting them, when we have the players to play them, after I've taught the players. I also sometimes let the players drive it or let the polls, let you guys in the chat or you guys supporting the YouTube members and Patreons decide what gets played on the channel. So if I ran my channel just on playing everything that came in the order it came in, I would still be playing games from 2015 and would have never played anything newer if I played things as they came in. So
yeah,
I just have to go, I put games in a pile, I kind of look at them and see like, is this game going to be played solo? Is this game need to be played 2-player? Do I want to play a 2-player? Do I want to play it solo? Do I want to play a 3-player? Do we need 6 players to play it the best we can?
Yeah.
And that's just how I prioritize things. So again, I apologize, Doc, who sent this to us like months ago to take this long day to the channel. But again, I'm not going to be pressured because Doc sent it to us. And we have other games that people sent us that I'll eventually get to. But they all know, everyone sends us games. Usually we talk behind the scenes and I say, you can send this if you want. No guarantee it gets on the channel. No guarantee I get to play it anytime soon because I have other things I'm like working on and stuff. So that's just how I go here. So just know that. For anyone who's like, I know there'll be comments later on this video going, when are you going to play the damn campaign? It's been 6 months now. That's just how it works. But
Yogi does say Imperial Assault was 2014, so you are almost up to date.
Oh, now, yeah, we're going back in time. Yeah, back in time. Even worse. Yeah, we're playing Lord of the Rings LCG right now, which is insane.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're playing a game from like 2011 or 2012 on
And then we're going to play Imperial Assault, which is 2014.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, see, we don't play like the newest game.
But we're also playing Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold, which is like only so many backers have that already. Like we played it basically the week we got it. Because I wanted to. I didn't want to wait.
I was kind of pressuring on that one as well.
Yeah, that's Mel's fault.
Yeah, there's some games that when they come in, they can sit on the shelf and it's okay, we can wait a little bit. But then there's other games that I'm just so excited that I'm like, let's fit this in the next spot available.
Yeah. Jackpot Man says, any game you've got sent multiple copies of? There were a couple games that I bought and then a publisher
we have
like sent. There's ones that like Stonemeyer Games before. I remember Jamie Stegmeyer reached out and he was like, we applied to like review games. This was many years ago, and I loved Scythe. I was so into it. I reached out and I was like, yeah, I want to, I would definitely play some games you make. And he reached out and said, if you're interested, I'm gonna send you a game, but it's gonna be a surprise what shows up. And it was either gonna be like I think it was like the Castles of Mad King Ludwig, that one, or My Little Scythe. And I said, any of them are fine because we had a young daughter. But I think we already had it or someone gifted it.
We'd already had it. We bought it.
Did we have it?
Yeah, we'd already had it.
But I think I didn't know at the time what was coming.
I don't think he said. I think he just said, we'll send you. It'll be either this or this.
And then, it showed up and I was like, oh, it's a game I already own. Oh, well, we'll still play it on the channel. Like, whatever. I already loved it and was playing it. But it's very rare because I'm usually pretty careful. We are in Canada. So, like, every time somebody asks, like, I've got a game to send you, or if you're interested, I can send you this game I have, or a game I'm not playing anymore, a game I don't love, or whatever. I'll still do my research and decide because I want to get stuff that I want to play in theory, right? Like I can't, if I haven't played the game, it's hard to judge completely, but I'll read. But we usually have to pay like import fees and customs fees and stuff. So even like somebody wants to send us like a little expansion for a game, sometimes it's like I could buy that expansion, from a store for $30. But then the publisher reaches out. Usually when a company sends us stuff, they usually cover all that stuff. But there's something with like when non-corporations send things across the border, usually like UPS, FedEx, and all this stuff charge us like customs fees, import fees, all this kind of stuff. And sometimes we pay anywhere from like $30 to like $80 depending on the weight and the size and stuff. So sometimes people reach out with games and I'll say like, no, don't even bother. Like it's not worth the money, or sometimes I'll pay for that, no problem, and I'll pay for shipping and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, just keep that in mind. That's like, we don't usually get sent games a ton and on purpose because I don't like doing that. And even some publishers send things and we get charged, but some publishers will cover that charge and stuff after the fact. But yeah, I try to avoid that kind of people sending us games. But we do have a little pile of them that I'm trying to play through on the channel, and this was one of them. So yeah. Mike says, fine, I won't send you any game. Yeah. Unless it was something like really awesome. Like I remember before Jim sent us some games and we paid the shipping and all this kind of stuff and the customs because they were cool games we couldn't get in Canada, or were like older games that were out of print and stuff. Like we got the one before Unfathomable, the Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah.
I remember Sirhan reached out and was like, I'm in Michigan, I can send you this game. And it's like, but it was worth it because you can't buy Battlestar Galactica at the time anywhere. So thank you again, Sirhan, for that one. But it would allow me. And then there was like when Wingspan, we couldn't get a hold of Wingspan anywhere. It was sold out all like crazy. Ryan, one of our producers, reached out at the time, and we split the cost, and yeah, he was able to get us Wingspan because his girlfriend or whatever was in a gaming store and found a random copy.
Yeah, and he knew we couldn't find it.
Yeah, and he knew we couldn't find it, so he hooked us up. And like KJ helped us get Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, because it was a timed exclusive at Target in the US, and we couldn't get in Canada for months. So we
couldn't cross the border because of COVID.
Yeah, so we paid the extra cost to have it shipped and all this kind of stuff and whatever. So I'm saying this stuff because I'm trying to be open and honest and full disclosure that we got sent this game as a gift. So if you think that is our bias on why we like the game or whatever, I want you to have that in your calculation when you're kind of putting all the info we presented at you. You're kind of putting that together with like, gotta be careful. Rob's a little crazy with adventure games and fantasy games. He might be a little too excited about this. And then someone sent him this game, and so maybe he's a little more, hyped because of it. So I just want you guys to understand that could be in there. Like I'm being honest. So.
There was a question from Matt, and you can choose not to answer if you don't want to, but Matt says, would you pay your own money for this game?
I would pay, because I looked it up. It's $80 US to buy from their store. I would only buy the base game. I don't care about the expansion stuff, as you guys know. I definitely would pay $80 US for this game. Now, if the shipping is another like $50, probably I wouldn't.
Right.
I would probably pick up this game if I was at a convention and saw it there for like, $60.
Yeah.
I would definitely pay $60 to $80 for this game, no problem. Because again, it's a cheaper game because it's not full of miniatures. It's not full of super crazy high-end components, and it was pretty heavy, but it's not one of those giant Kickstarter game boxes that weighs 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the shipping is not too bad on just buying the base game. So it's sometimes nice to like not have a game full of miniatures and a giant box to have to pay like the same price as the game in shipping. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was easy for me to grab this game at retail in Canada, I'd probably just go that route. It would probably be like $60 Canadian, no shipping. No problem. Definitely the game's worth it for sure.
And I'm not going to lie, I would say after playing it, yes, I would have spent our own money on it. Before playing it, I needed some convincing.
Yeah, Mel wouldn't have let me buy this game, or would have.
Well, I would have had to know what about the game.
I already said that. I wouldn't have bought this game.
Yeah.
I already passed by it on Kickstarter.
After playing it, I would say, yes, I would now have spent my money on it.
I remember, like, I think 2 years ago, maybe, this came on Kickstarter again for like the second or third time, and somebody sent me the link, and Doc wasn't the first one to show me this game. And I remember right away being like, next. Like, I already was deciding based on like cost, shipping, choice of art? Have they have a canceled campaign before? Is the price too much? Like, I will. Does it have wooden meeples? Nope, I don't want it. Like, you have to weed through. I don't have unlimited funds, so you have to weed through the projects, right?
Yeah.
And a project that doesn't have the generic fantasy art that I love, yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. It's kind of revolting. But I do like the art. I do like the uniqueness of the art of this game. But if I have to pick between 60 different adventure games, this one is not the one I'm picking based on first impressions. No way. No way. So again, this is one of those stories of judging a book by its cover. Like, sometimes is not the right way to go about it. But again, it's not for everybody. So please, 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 please. You saw how the game works. You get an idea. There are reviews. If you go to BGG, I recommend doing this. I went here too before when Dog was telling me he was going to send this. I was like, I'm curious. So you can go here to the rules forums on BGG for the game, and there'll be people who played more than what we did. So again, we're just going based on one scenario we played multiple times. Different characters, different encounter cards and stuff, but we still have only played one scenario. We do not have experience with the full campaign. But from everything I read on here, the campaign's like the best part of the game. So read through some of these from people who, review, I should have said, reviews. So read through some of these from people who've played more than we have, and you'll get more information. Don't go just buy this game blindly based on us having fun with one session. Okay, so check out some of these reviews. People took the time to write these. You'll find some regular Joes in here. I don't know if I trust a review from Hinterlander here, because that's the name of my character. So this may be a plant.
But it also could be they love the game.
I know, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Because the next one's also in
Bloodsport Brawler review. Oh, this person's just reviewing the characters. We got a rambling review here. Tobias D. Robinson, wrote a little review here, so you can read kind of stuff in here. So again, you guys saw the game, random encounters, lots of luck, dice rolling strategy and stuff. But we didn't even use the luck to reroll dice, but it really only the mitigation is like dice rerolling, which is kind of lame, but
one other thing I didn't mention when I was talking about the things I like about it, go ahead, is I love when you draw the monsters off the deck and it tells you who it engages with. Yeah. I find that so interesting. Yeah, I like that mechanic. It's one of the things I like about the game.
Checked out says it's the cost of the dog teams to deliver in Canada that drives up the price.
Yeah, yes. For sure. You gotta feed those dogs.
Getting through the snowstorms, man, is crazy.
Yeah.
All year snowstorms. Yeah, for sure. And also trying to find the correct igloo to deliver it to, because addresses on the outside of igloos, you carve it in the ice blocks, but then sometimes the sun comes out and kind of melts it, so the addresses like melt on the front. So then sometimes you have to go out like the next day when it gets cold again and like carve the igloo house number into the front again. So so the rough life of being a Canadian. Yeah. So yeah. Yep.
However, though, I think there's snowstorms happening in the US right now and not in Canada, so
it happens.
I know.
It's crazy times. Yes, I am all about the base. All about the base. I do love expansions for games that I love the base game.
But you have to play the base game first.
But again, I don't mind paying shipping again if, because in theory, more games I will save money on. I will save more money in the long run if I just buy base games and go to retail or get lower Kickstarter games that have less shipping costs. Play that game. If I actually make it through a game and love a game so much I need more content, which is becoming more rare and rare the more time I'm in this hobby and the bigger my collection gets. I'm saving money because on those rare games that I actually need more, I will go find those expansions at retail or on the next Kickstarter or secondhand market and pay that shipping again, a little bit of shipping usually, a little bit more shipping twice to get that second wave of content later. And sometimes what I find is even if I wait for that second wave and it's out of stock or out of print, or I'm waiting for another Kickstarter so I can get a chance to get that expansion content, by the time that comes, sometimes I've just cooled on a game and I found something else to attract my attention. And I never go back to the game. So then I save money by never buying those expansions. And yeah, so even though some people with the FOMO of Kickstarter or even ordering from this company to buy this game, you might go on their website and find a cool bundle deal and you only spend a little bit more shipping, but you might as well get it all now because you're not sure if you want it. my advice is always like, no, unless you're just starting your collection or you know you're going to play the crap of this game or you played it at a friend's house and you know you love it already, I find it more financially smart to just buy the base game, pay some shipping, and if you play through it and you really need more at the end, you'll go buy it then. You'll get it. There'll be a way to get it. And if not, who cares? There's other games out there you can spend that money on and have awesome experiences also. So, and usually expansion content, it's kind of like sequels in the movie industry. It's usually more of the same. It's not usually mind-blowing. It's very rare to have like a Terminator 2 kind of effect, where actually the second movie is better than the first, or the expansion makes the game better than the original, you know? So it's like, and that can be argued depending on the game or the publisher and stuff. But yeah, so I'm about that base. I'm about that base now in my point in life and where I am and just how I do. Because I find games, you usually get bored of them, or you get what the game about, or you had enough fun, or you want to move on to something else, and the other players are getting bored of it by the time you actually get to the point of needing the expansion content. But if the game is that awesome, you get the expansions later, you're good to go. So yeah, I'd rather have 20 base games, 20 different just core sets of games or whatever to try all those different experiences, rather than have like 5 games with all the expansions in most cases. So that's where I'm at. But again, some people don't have to choose. Some people just back like Tiny.
Everything and everything.
Like Tiny from our community just backs like every single Kickstarter all in, and sometimes accidentally backs it twice. And yeah, just goes crazy and doesn't have to ever worry. But people like me who only have limited funds, again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, awesome people, for allowing me to, you know, purchase games and stuff and buy these expansions and play things on the channel that I normally wouldn't have bought or wouldn't be able to afford or wouldn't be able to back on Kickstarter. I appreciate it.
Also want to thank those people that super chat as well, because that also, your names are maybe on there, but maybe not, but we want to thank you as well.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Mike says I buy less total games, but I buy all of the ones I buy. So yeah, you're like a completionist, right?
Yeah.
That's how I started in the hobby, Mike. That's how I began. I bought into these lifestyle games and I had to have everything, and I only like playing a handful of games and never expanding outside of those games. But I've changed. I realized when you do that, you miss out on a lot of different experiences and stuff. And I was really like a FFG fanboy, only buying FFG games and really focused on the handful of games. But then I started giving chances to other smaller publishers and other games I wouldn't maybe, and this one's a great example. I would have never given this time of day to this game or this publisher before, but now I've like been opened up and on my I'm a little more open-minded about it. And if I wasn't, some of my favorite games, like Too Many Bones, for example, I would have never played that game and touched it if I didn't, you know, people bring it to my attention. I didn't open my mind to playing some other things, right? There's so many games we play on the channel, like fantasy campaign games and stuff. People come in the chat, people come in the comments and go, it's not Gloomhaven, so why would I play this over Gloomhaven? It's like, that's the kind of mentality I used to have when I first got into the hobby. But at some point, you get bored of Gloomhaven, or you don't have a game group that wants to play Gloomhaven. Or maybe Gloomhaven's not for you because it's not the greatest game in the world for everybody, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, it's not everyone's number one.
Yes, there's a game out there for everybody. So yeah, not every game is for everybody, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, but I love even trying games that I know aren't for me. Like there's some party games and stuff that I play, and I still have fun playing them, even though like it's not really for me. And
but it's not something that you're gonna pick over and over again. But you experienced it, yeah.
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 So yeah, you'll never be able to play everything, but yeah, and there's nothing wrong with just buying a game and getting super into it and backing a crowdfunding campaign if you know you like the game. $500 all in, get all the expansions, paint it all, set it all up, learn it all, and only play that for like a year with your game group and yourself, play solo every week and try to get so good at the game and see everything in it. There's nothing wrong with that. No. You're getting your value's worth. As long as you're getting your value out of the game, then who cares, right? But if you're just buying $500 all-in Kickstarters to sit there and shrink on your shelf as you're sitting there watching updates for another Kickstarter or waiting for launches of new Kickstarters to back, like that's when you gotta kind of look in the mirror and kind of, yeah, you gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah. So anyways, I think we're gonna get out of here. Tomorrow we are playing earlier, 11 a.m. Eastern. But then I also realized after I scheduled the stream, it's also daylight savings time, so we're actually gonna spring forward tonight and lose an hour of sleep. So we're actually kind of playing at 10 a.m. Eastern-ish tomorrow, but it's really going to be 11 kind of. So we are playing earlier tomorrow. We're going to play some Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold Episode 2, getting back into that spoiler-filled Legacy campaign game. Can't wait. Should I bump the stream? I probably should, right?
I don't know.
Because for time zones and stuff, that's like anyone who changes for daylight savings, it's like people who watched last week, it's like really being 2 hours earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna change the time
to noon our time.
Yes.
After the time change.
Yeah, because what I worry is we're gonna stream and then people are gonna tune in going, "Oh, I missed the first 2 hours. What the hell?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if we keep it to our normal time.
Yeah. Now that I said all that out loud, it totally makes sense. I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it right now. Where is it?
Either way, on the time change where we lose an hour, we're going to be tired tomorrow. So it's going to be fun. Yeah, we'll have our coffees ready.
But if you've set a reminder for the stream, you'll still get reminded and everything that went live, even though the time change and stuff. So,
yep.
But yeah, it should be better.
Mike also says, thanks again, Doc. One of the best streams for entertainment, in my opinion. Thanks so much for your contribution. Thanks again, Doc. And Mike, that's so sweet. Thank you.
It's been super fun playing this game, which the fun factor is there for sure for me. But I'll be honest, when I first, like I said, the other, like basically 3 total times I attempted to learn this game and get it ready for the channel, I didn't have a very positive outlook. I was very frustrated. I was even a little nervous like 2 days ago for having the rules correct on the stream. Like earlier in this week when I wasn't streaming, I was literally watching playthroughs, rereading the rules, printing out reference sheets, rereading them, playing the game, testing myself, trying to get the rules straight so that I could have a smooth stream and have fun and not let the frustration of rules lookups sour my experience with the game. So, but I hope I vocalized that and made that very apparent here that there is that kind of red flag-ish to the game if that's the kind of thing you're not really into. So keep that in mind. You can find the rules online, the rules references and stuff, and even look through them before you ever purchase this game or anything to really know what we're talking about. It's all out there. Nothing's hidden. You can find the rules and everything online. So yeah, do your research. Please do your research before looking into this game for sure.
One thing about this game is you are likely going to miss rules. But you know what? Just have fun. Enjoy the story. Enjoy the rolling for die. The rolling the die.
No, that's a personal preference thing, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because I'm one of those people that I try to get everything correct. I get frustrated if we've gone through half the game and I realize I've been messing up a rule the whole time. Something snaps in my brain. I literally start getting frustrated and I get tilted.
Okay.
It's a thing. It's like a thing. I think it came from playing competitive card games or something. That like if I realize I made a mistake that cost me a game or my spot in the tournament or whatever, I instantly start blaming myself and start getting very frustrated. And especially if my flow is getting broken of playing the game. So again, if you like to have rules 100% correct, there will be some multiple playthroughs. The same spiel I give for Sword and Sorcery. You will need to play, make mistakes, get the rules back out, reread them, play again, realize you made different mistakes, read the rules again. It takes a bit of studying, a bit of effort, a bit of like, you know, you're basically like studying for an exam to like kind of get this game down. And if you're that type of person, you might be a little worried and maybe run away. But like Mel was saying, if you're the type of person that just plays loosey-goose, have your friends come over, roll some dice, have fun, enjoy the story, play this zany game, and you're okay if somebody forgets that they have an item that raised their morale and they should have passed that test.
Yeah.
Who cares? You'll have fun, keep moving on. So you know the type of gamer you are, but you cannot make blanket statements saying like, oh, just change the way you play.
No, I'm not saying that.
Everyone's wired differently, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. I come from the side of like, I try to be like, perfect and understand. Some games I kind of get myself to kind of play the game and not stress. And this game was one of those where I just said, Rob, I talked myself out of it. Like, just don't stress. Have fun. It's only the intro scenario. You're not going to see everything. You don't have to memorize all these crazy rules of void gates and doom tracks and how epic monsters change the game and stuff. But all that's in there. If you want to push this game further, it gets crazier than what I just showed you today. So. Doc says, I really did expect much harsher criticism, but similar end result opinion. Nice. Yeah. But again, thank you again for pointing out the publisher and the history of it. And I went and looked into it, their Kickstarters. Whenever I see a Kickstarter game that I get and I find out they only had like, 800 backers, 600 backers, I realize, and it's only a 2-man team or 3 people that made the game. I understand. I watch enough documentaries. I have been in the industry now long enough to know you gotta change your expectations for those kind of games. And most of the time, yeah, they're pretty crappy. You can tell they weren't play tested. You can tell they have no experience writing rule books. You can tell they've never made a game before. This game has a little bit of hints of that, but they did a pretty good job for the first game here. I must give them that.
Yeah.
But they did have a guy designing it that I don't think he works for them anymore. Again, like I said, was it Eric Ratty or something like that? That designed the game. You can see him answering lots of questions on BGG about it, and he's the one that wrote the FAQ and stuff. But yeah, he obviously did a pretty good job. But I think it's his only game design, I think. But yeah, not bad. Not bad. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate your time. Thanks for letting us show you this crazy, wacky game. Again, thanks to Doc for sending it to us.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you to our Patreon members and our YouTube members for supporting the channel, allowing us to buy these cool cameras, lights, run these live streams, purchase games, expansions, back Kickstarter, travel to conventions. All the money goes back in the channel. Thank you so much for helping us support us here. Thank you for supporting us here. And hit that like button on your way out if you want to stay tuned to the channel to check other fantasy campaign, games like this one, adventure games and stuff like that. We play games like this on the channel all the time that maybe don't make your eyes hurt. So subscribe, turn on the notification bell. You get notified when we go live in the future. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.
Bye.